Hi everyone, welcome to Website Social Media Integration. We are starting right now. I'm Mike Colosi, President of Salon and Spa Marketing Toolkit. Today, helping to facilitate this call, this webinar, are Mark Colosi and John Kelly. A little bit more from them a little bit later. A few helpful tips for getting ready, for getting the most out of this webinar. Make sure that you're in a quiet room with your computer turned on so you won't be distracted. Make sure that you turn your volume up. You turn your cell phones off, you lock the door, make sure that you have complete solitude for 3 hours, because we're going to go right up until 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which is 3 hours, and you will not want to miss a single minute of this. So please don't multitask, going on the internet, looking at other things. Pay attention. This is for your benefit. We will have 5-minute breaks every hour or so. So you can, whatever you have to do, we'll allow for that for sure, because we want your complete attention. And just keep in mind that we will break every hour for about 5 minutes. But make sure that you get back to the webinar on time, because like I said, every little bit of piece of information we're going to share with you this morning is going to be extremely valuable for your success with your websites and your social media. If the connection is lost, just simply log back on. You will find that we will be here. We will continue the presentation. If for some reason we lose connection, just stay where you are, and we will simply log back on. It could take up to 3 to 4 minutes to do that. I don't perceive anything happening like that, but if it does, just be patient, stay where you are, and it will start up again. How and why this event came about? Well, I'll tell you, this came about because obviously we talk with salon and spa owners and stylists and techs all the time, and we hear their frustration about websites and social media. How do they work to get you clients, get you new clients? This is extremely important heading into the future. And a few years ago, we started taking a look at websites out there that were being used, that were owned by salon and spa owners, and we realized after talking with hundreds of salon and spa owners that websites were not generating any clients for them. What they were was just a big, beautiful looking business card online that nobody ever found, and if it was found, it didn't convert the visitor into a client. So we decided to tackle this problem, and we came up with a solution, with a formula that not only enables your website to be found online, but once it is found, to convert that visitor into a client. And as we went along, we realized the importance of social media and the integration with it on your websites, and how important that was. So this presentation this morning is all about that. How to get your website found on the internet, how to get it so once it's found, it converts a visitor into a client, and the importance of social media integration on your website as well. So please buckle up, get focused, do not miss a single minute of this presentation, and let's rock and roll. So how to create a website with social media integration that will drive pre-qualified, pre-motivated, high-profit clients to you day in and day and night automatically. First presenter is going to be my brother Mark. Mark graduated from SUNY Geneseo in 1981 with a management science degree concentrating on marketing. He then worked in the telecommunications industry first as a salesperson, working all the way up to VP of Marketing. In 1988, he left the telecommunications industry, and he co-founded and became president of Eagle Research, which performed time management and productivity training for corporations large and small. In 1993, he sold his interest and founded a business training company called The Wealth Factory. Their primary focus was helping small businesses with their marketing, which he ran for the next 9 years until he sold it in 2002. He then retired at the ripe old age of 45, and then after 5 years of being bored, as he tells me, he joined me to help salon and spa owners like you. So you've all heard Mark talk on our bi-weekly calls. You know that he knows his marketing inside and out, and it's our privilege to have him as part of our team. And I would like to bring him aboard and give him the platform for a little bit here. Mark, welcome aboard.
We're shaking hands right now. You can't see it. Hey, everybody. I'm glad you're here with us, and I can guarantee you without any hesitation that this will be the best use of your time the next few hours here. Now, I'm going to be talking kind of in general terms about marketing and what makes really good marketing work. And then Mike and John later are going to show you exactly how that applies to your website. So when people land on that website, they're motivated and enticed to pick up the phone and call you for an appointment. Now, despite the big misconception out there that a website is different than any other kind of marketing, it's really not. So great marketing is great marketing no matter what the medium is. And when we talk about medium, what we're talking about is the delivery system of your marketing message. So your website's a delivery system. If you do newspaper, if you ever tried newspaper advertising, that's a delivery system. A business card's a delivery system. A sign's a delivery system. Any mechanism that delivers your marketing message is a delivery system. So let's get going here. So what's the difference between image advertising and direct response advertising? Because that's really the only two kinds of advertising there is. And I want to give you some examples so you clearly know the difference between these two and why you should stay away from one, that being image advertising, and why you want to concentrate mainly on direct response advertising. Okay, image advertising is the type of advertising you and I see all the time on TV. Let's say, as an example, the Super Bowl. You see Coca-Cola comes on there and they spend $3-4 million to display their message to you, and they're really not trying to get you to take action and do anything. What they're trying to do is they're trying to dominate that little space in your mind that you have for cola, for example. So everybody in their own mind has a little space for every single category. So for cola, yours might be Pepsi, it might be Coke, or it might be RC Cola. For cellular phones, it might be Verizon, it might be AT&T, or it might be Sprint. Or for insurance companies, it might be Allstate, it might be State Farm, or it might be Geico. So what those companies are trying to do is they're trying to dominate that little space in your mind so that when you're ready to buy a product in that category, that you think of their product and you buy theirs. Okay? Now, the reason we don't concentrate and teach image advertising is because it really doesn't work for the salon industry. And what I mean by that is you don't really have the amount of money or the time it takes for image advertising to actually work. It's like if you went up to the ocean with a 5-gallon pail of water and poured that water in the ocean hoping to see the level of the ocean increase or rise, it would take millions, if not billions, of 5 gallons of pails of water to make the ocean rise. And that's what image advertising is like. So we steer you away from that because it really doesn't work. Now, direct response advertising, on the other hand, is a way that you can get people to take action right away. And the beauty of it is it's measurable and trackable, so you know if it's working right away. So we'll get into some more examples about direct response advertising a little bit later, but just know for now that it gets an immediate response and you can track it right away, and it's a lot less expensive than any kind of image advertising. All right. So what makes direct response advertising get outstanding results? There's actually a formula that no matter what medium you're using, if you follow this formula, your chances for success go through the roof. If you leave out one of the elements in the formula I'm going to show you, it just decreases your response. Now, most of the advertising you and I see all the time, the direct response advertising, is missing a lot of these elements, and that's why it doesn't work very well. If you've tried direct response advertising in the past and got poor results, most likely it's because it's missing one or several of these elements to get people to take action. And believe it or not, this is really a guarded secret in the advertising world. Really high-end advertising agencies don't even know this formula. They don't even try to use it. So what we're showing here, Unique, is really unique, and not many people know it. So what is this formula? Well, here's the formula. Headline, testimonials, irresistible offer, deadline, what's in it for me, one objective, a big bold guarantee, you tell your story, compelling reasons, and follow-up. So a headline, what that does is it grabs the person's attention. And what I mean by that is we're bombarded on a daily basis with advertising all the time. We turn on our computer, we're getting blasted, the radio, TV, we're driving down the road, and a billboard hits us with a message. So you got to have a way to get through all the clutter and grab someone's attention, because if you don't get their attention, they're not going to read or they're not going to read and come into the copy in order for them to make any kind of a decision. So a headline always increases the response. And when you go to the grocery store, for example, and you're standing in line, you see magazines there on the rack, and they all have very good headlines. Now, copywriters are paid thousands and thousands of dollars to write those headlines, because those magazine companies know that if that headline doesn't get your attention, you're not going to pick up that magazine and look through it to see if there's something in there, and you'll never buy it. So the headline is really one of the most important things for any kind of advertising to work, because if you don't get someone's attention, you're dead in the water. You're not going to get them to respond. So here's the most powerful words you can use in a headline: how to, free, new, you, yes, guaranteed, secret. And the reason these are so powerful is that as human beings, we're all hardwired the same way to respond to certain things. And these words, believe it or not, have been so powerful that they really haven't changed in the last 50 years. If you look at advertising 50 years ago, good, direct response, compelling advertising has these words scattered in it in the headline. So here's some examples. You get our best service ever, or it's free. A lot of our members are using this, and I hope you start using it too. How a new discovery made a plain girl beautiful. Beauty expert proves 2 of 3 women can have more beautiful hair in 7 days. New shampoo leaves your hair smoother and easier to manage, or it's free. Everywhere, women are raving about this amazing new salon. Do you do any of these 7 embarrassing things with your hair? Okay, so that sums up the headline. And in the program, we show you all different kinds of headlines. In the website Blueprint, there's all different kinds of headlines that you can use and take and use wherever you want. The next thing that's really critical is testimonials, because what others say about you is indefinitely more believable than what you could ever say about yourself. An example I like to use is if you're at a party, for example, and you're just chit-chatting with somebody, and they come up to you and say, I'm a great tennis player. Well, you're going to think to yourself, yeah, I bet you are. You're just puffing. You're bragging about yourself. And you don't believe it, because they're just trying to, you think they're just trying to brag. But if a totally unrelated person comes up to you and says, Mary is a terrific tennis player, you're going to believe them, because it came from a third party and they have nothing to gain by telling you that Mary is a terrific tennis player. So what other people say about you is so more believable than what you could ever say about yourself. That's why it's so important. So would you be more likely to try a new restaurant if your neighbor told you how wonderful it was, or if you saw an ad in the newspaper for it? It'd be if your neighbor told you, because you know the ad is advertising and all they're trying to do is get you to come in. So there you go. You know, you'd be more likely to try it if your neighbor couldn't stop bragging about it. So how many testimonials should you use? You never can have too many. We have a professional speaker that's a friend of ours who's very well known, very successful. And when a client calls his office to ask about his services and if he's available, all he does is he gets a box and he has a stack of 200 testimonials that he puts in the box, and then he puts a cover letter on there, and it just says, "Thank you for contacting me. Please look over these letters for what other clients have said about me." That's all he does. He doesn't try to brag. He doesn't try to say, "I'm the best." He doesn't do all this stuff. And, you know, he's booked solid out every single year just from that one strategy. So he lets other people toot his horn, if you will, and say great things about him. So what if you don't have any testimonials now? First thing you want to do is you want to talk to the clients who love you. And every single salon owner probably has 10% of their client base where the people love you. You can't do no wrong. They love everything about you. They're positive. Go to those people first and ask them for a testimonial, but you cannot leave it up to them to write it from scratch, because most people don't like to write testimonials. They don't like to write. And second of all, they're not going to write it in an emotional, compelling style. So even if they did write it, it probably wouldn't be that good. A better solution is ask them to fill out this form, which is in the program, and it's on Member Central. So when they come in, you just say, "Would you mind just filling out this form for me?" And what this does is it gives you the ideas or the copy to write the testimonial yourself. It's really easy to do. And then you ask them to sign it. So this is in the Member Central and in the program. So what should your testimonial say? You should have a testimonial for each benefit. For example, if you do hair coloring and hair cutting, you should have one for hair color. If you do men and women, there should be one for men, one for women. And the more detail you put in this, the more believable it is. And you want to make it believable, and one of the ways you do that is you actually give the person's full name, their occupation, and the city. And the reason you do that is when somebody's looking at the testimonial, they might say that, "Oh, Mary works at Strawn Memorial Hospital, so do I." We have something in common there. Okay? So the more detail you give, the more believable. If you give a testimonial that just says Jane Smith, people are going to look at that and say, "That's not even real. Jane Smith." I mean, there is a Jane Smith, but it's not a unique name. Okay. So what do you do with the testimonials? You keep a book of them in your salon. You put them on your website so other people can see them, and you put them on all your marketing pieces. You let your testimonials sell for you. Okay? The next thing on that formula is an irresistible offer. Now, people always, no matter if you're rich or poor, people want a great deal. Okay? And that's one of the reasons these guys are going to talk about a first-time visitor coupon on your website, because people want to get something, a special deal. They want to feel special. So what makes someone respond? The absolute best thing you can use to get people to respond is something for free. And for example, these guys are also going to talk about how you put your newsletter on your website so people can opt into that and get a copy of your newsletter so you can capture their name and email. Now, what that newsletter is it doesn't cost you hardly anything. It has a high perceived value, but the client would want that, and they're getting something for free. And as far as giving discounts to first-time clients, that's a way to get them in the door and to lower that risk to do business with you. And you always got to remember the lifetime value of a client. I mean, we know that worst case, a client is going to be worth $5,000 to you over their lifetime association with you. And it could be up to $20,000 or more, depending on how much you charge for your services. So can you spend a few dollars, $20, $30 to get a new client? Absolutely, because they're going to be paying you thousands of dollars over their lifetime association with you. So it makes good business sense. It's a great return on your investment, if you will. Okay. The next thing is you want to do is you want to have a deadline. So if you're going to offer something, you want to put a deadline of when they have to respond, because we're hardwired to procrastinate, and people don't respond unless you motivate them to. That's why when you see sales on TV, let's say a furniture store is having a sale, they always have a deadline to get people off their couch and drive their car to the store. Because if you don't give people a deadline, they just keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. Okay? And 2 weeks is always a good, don't give them more than 2 weeks. Because if it's more than 2 weeks, they'll say, I'll take a look at this in a few days, and they'll forget. Okay? The next thing is really important, and that's what's in it for me. Every single person, when faced with a buying decision, the first thing that comes to their mind is, what's in it for me? They have to sort through this. They're getting bombarded all the time with marketing messages, and they want to clearly and quickly figure out, is this for me or not? What's in this for me? And you gotta answer that right away, or you're going to lose them. If they don't see what's in it for them right away, they're history. They're on to the next thing. So we like to say that the reason we call this WIIFM is that we like to say everybody has a little radio station going on in their head, and faced with a buying decision, they say, what's in it for me? WIIFM. The next thing is really important, and that is your direct response advertising should only have one objective, and that's to get a client. Now, we've all seen advertising all the time. It's in the salon industry, it's in every single industry. It's got so much going on in it that you can't figure out what to do next, and it's not clear. So a confused mind shuts down. So if your advertising is really clear and you want them to do one thing, it'll be successful. If you try to get it to do 2 things or 3 things, it's going to fail. Okay. And I think you've all heard about this, and you've probably read about this in the program, or you heard it on our members call, always having a big, bold, solid guarantee. Because the better the guarantee, the more people are going to buy. And here's a guarantee that's in the program. It's on Member Central, and literally hundreds, if not thousands, of our members are using this guarantee right now, as is. As the owner, we want our clients to be super pleased, in fact, absolutely delighted with everything we do. So all of our work comes with an ironclad, risk-free guarantee. What does this mean? Simply this. If you aren't happy with our work, we'll touch up for free. If you're still not thrilled, you can have your money back. No questions asked, no hard feelings. It's your choice. We stand behind our work 100%. If you have any questions or concerns about our work, please call us right away. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, I can't afford to do that. I'll get people calling me all the time to do corrective work. If I do that, everyone will want their money back and rip me off. This is a natural reaction, and it's completely untrue. Is this bold? Is it strong? Yes. Is it risky? Not at all. Think about it this way. Your guarantee takes all the risk out of doing business with you. When you have such a strong guarantee, people know you're completely confident in your work, and they'll develop a trust with you. So just to elaborate on this for a minute, anytime you have a relationship with someone, the first thing you have to get over is you have to trust that person. If you don't trust them, you're not going to do business with them. This goes for not only in a hair salon, anywhere. So what the guarantee does is it reverses, it's called risk reversal. It takes all the risk out of doing business with you, so that people say to themselves, well, they have a money-back guarantee, I might as well give it a try. So that's why it works so well. And one more thing, the guarantee, you should post it everywhere. You could have a sign on your website. Everything you do should have your guarantee on it, so when people see it, they know you're serious and you're very confident and you stand behind your services. The next thing that's really important is tell your story. When you're going to make an offer to somebody, you want to tell them why you're making that offer, so it's completely clear to them. And here's an example. I'd rather give my clients money for referrals than pay the Yellow Pages TV, radio, or newspaper. So if you're having a referral program, this is a way you introduce it to your clients. I'd rather give the money to you than to pay these other big corporations, faceless corporations. Why should I do that? And then you need to have compelling reasons. This is in line with your unique selling proposition. What makes you unique, different, and outstanding compared to your competition? What makes you authentic, unparalleled, and superior, which allows you to demand and happily get premium prices? What are those things? What differentiates you from everybody else? Because if you don't differentiate yourself, people are going to compare you, and the only thing they're going to be able to compare you on is your price, because you're not giving them the criteria. And you don't want to get in that game, because if you live by price, you die by price. And if you start lowering your prices to compete, the quality of your services are going to diminish, and then it's just a downward spiral from there. So we would rather see you make really good money and provide excellent value than skimp on pricing and give crappy value. And then this is really key too. You need to follow up, because people don't buy when you want them to. They buy when they're ready. So let's say someone comes to your website and they're looking it around, and they opt in to get your newsletter, or they opt in to get a first-time visitor coupon, or whatever, but they don't come in. They didn't take that next step. It's because they might still be somewhat happy with where they are, and they're just looking around right now. But something's going to happen in the future where they want to switch. They're going to switch to you because you're the one that kept following up with them automatically, and John and Mike are going to show you how to easily do that through your website, social media. So, because your competitors aren't doing it, so they're going to choose you eventually. All right, well, that sums up. Okay, let's take some questions, and then I'll move on to my part two. You got any questions, Mike?
Yep, we got a question here. Mark, are you saying these strategies should be on my website? If so, I don't understand why.
Yes, these strategies should be on your website, because this is the direct response marketing formula to get people to respond. If you do what everybody else does, just make a pretty website that doesn't have these things on it, people might come to the website, but they're not going to call you for an appointment. And that's the purpose of a website, is to get new clients. So if you don't have these things, like if you have a website now and you don't have these things, I can guarantee you're not getting any clients from your website. Maybe a few here and there, but it's not a client-generating machine. We have clients that get 20, 30, and upwards of 40 new clients every month from their website. And you can do the same thing if you use these strategies. That, the ones I'm talking about here, and Mike and John are going to elaborate on these things a little bit later.
Here's a comment, Mark. That must be true because I've spent a ton of money on my website and don't get any clients from it.
It's definitely true. We've already proven it. You know, the reality is this: we haven't really come across a salon owner that has a website that actually gets clients until they follow our strategies and change their website around, and then it starts generating clients. And remember, these things I'm talking about, every human being is hardwired to respond to these things. And if you think that your clients are different because they're rich, they're poor, they're in a depressed part of town, they're in a great part of town, they're different religion, they're different, it doesn't matter. We're all hardwired the same way we're hardwired for our sex drive. There's nothing you can do about it. So these things are the things that make people respond. And we've already proven it to work, so trust us, it definitely works.
Where's the testimonial form again?
Testimonial form is it's on Member Central. If you look in the 100 or I'll have to get back to you exactly where it is. I know it's there a few different times. So in the section in testimonial, the groundwork strategies, there's a section in there about testimonials, and the form is in there.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of questions about, are we going to see sample websites? Yeah, we're gonna show you all of that. Lot to go here.
Yeah.
When you do give them testimonial forms at the end of the service with a pre-stamped envelope.
No, you would just you can do that. That's one strategy to do it, or you can just ask them to take a second to fill it out really quickly before they leave. Or if they're a long-time client, you can give it to them when they come in, when they're waiting for their service, because they already have done business with you. So, and you can just simply tell them, you know, we're working on our marketing. Would you mind just filling this form out for me?
This is a really great question, Mark.
Okay.
You've mentioned several times that your members have gained 20, 30, 40 clients from the website. Could you also give the number of those clients that they have retained? I think explaining, you know, a website prospect is a good idea. Someone who's looking for you.
Yeah, I mean, a prospect who finds you on your website is almost as good as a prospect you get from a referral, because they've spent a little bit of time reading your compelling reasons why you're different and better than everybody else. And by the time they call you, they're already bought into you and know that you're the place for them. So they're very, they pay, stay, and refer others to you. High quality.
Yeah, they've already decided to buy too.
Because what the website ends up doing is it sorts and sifts and pre-qualifies and gets rid of the price shoppers if done properly, so that the only people that end up calling you are the high quality ones.
Okay, I think we're good.
You're good?
Yep.
All right. So that sums up the first part of my presentation. Good marketing is good marketing no matter the medium. And I just covered the formula that makes really good marketing. And we're going to show you more how this formula, how it actually looks on a website a little bit later. These guys are. All right. Now, understanding why you must have a direct response-driven website for your salon or spa. I just want to go over the things that are changing in the marketplace that you need to be aware of and why this is so critical. First of all, there's a major decline of traditional media, the yellow pages. It's so much faster and easier to get what you want just by going to Google and Yahoo. There's a green movement going on right now where in a lot of counties you have to request your yellow page book or they won't deliver it to you because you know, they know that it's a big waste. And let's face it, people under a lot of people under 30 don't even know what the Yellow Pages is. They never even looked at it. My kids don't know what it is. And so what that all means is there's fewer eyeballs, so you're going to be a lower response. So I'm not telling you not to advertise in the Yellow Pages, because you have to track it to see if it makes money for you. But just know this, the cost of your ad has not gone down, and there's just fewer and fewer eyeballs actually seeing it. So the response is going to be lower. The same thing with newspapers. People can get it online. Readership is way down. Newspapers are going out of business left and right. So if you advertise in the newspaper, just know that there's going to be fewer people actually looking at your ad. TV. There's hundreds of stations now. People record shows. They skip through commercials. There's Netflix and Hulu and all these other stations. Again, fewer eyeballs, lower response. Radio, the same thing. You can get iPods, MP3, satellite, Pandora. Fewer eyeballs is lower response. All right. I just want to warn you, though, that this presentation is about websites. Most of you have probably seen this picture before. And it's the scariest number in business is 1. Because if you only have one way to get clients and it stops working because of something out of your control, your new client flow stops dead in its tracks. However, if you have 3, 4, 5, or 6 ways to get new clients and one stops, you're still going to be okay. So still, have a website that's working for you. Do the new mover program, the gift card strategy, the zombie letter, the email promotions. All these things do their part and bring in a handful of clients to you every single month. And you want to do them all, and you want to keep doing them. Never stop marketing. For some reason in the salon industry, there's this way of thinking that, I don't have to market to get clients. Well, every business has to market to get clients. If you want to have a constant flow of clients, month in and week out, month in and month out, you got to continually market. That's what successful businesses do. They spend a heck of a lot of time and energy and thought into how to get new clients, because that's where all the money is. If you don't have clients, you can be the best hair salon technician or stylist, the most friendly person, the most ethical person, but if you don't know how to market and get clients, you got nothing, because you don't have money coming in. So this is really important. So just kind of at a recap, what makes a sale happen? You have to have the right message to the right market at the right time. And when someone comes and looks for your website, it's definitely the right time because they're looking for it. It's the right market because they're looking, they're a person looking for the services that you offer. And the question is do you have the right message? Does your message match your market? And what we're going to show you here today is how to actually get that done. So what are the media delivery systems? And this is really important too, because you have to communicate with your clients in the way they want to be communicated to. For example, when we were in business years ago and fax machines came out, we stopped doing business with people that didn't have fax machines because it was too hard to communicate with them. Now, if you don't have a website or you're not communicating with people the way they want to be communicated to, they're going to go to your competitors. So you got to get on this bandwagon, this technology bandwagon, if you're not, and get this taken care of. So what systems are your prospects and clients using? They're using their smartphone, their PC, and their iPad, and all these devices can get to your website and your social media. So what do we mean by a direct response website? That means a website, when someone lands on it, they're compelled to pick up the phone and call you for an appointment. They're not compelled to just surf around and look around and goof around on there for 10 or 15 minutes and then leave. What good as that. You want them to pick up the phone and call you for an appointment, and that formula I just went over gives you the best chance of somebody doing that. And you leave out things, your response will get lower and lower and lower. So it's not an image, it's not a site that has an image. It gets them to take action, and it's measurable and trackable. You'll know how many people visit the site and how many people call you for an appointment and convert them to clients. Now this is really critical, and most people probably don't really understand this, but when you do offline marketing, a big part of that is trying to actually find the prospect. You know how we talked about the right message to the right market at the right time? When you do offline marketing, let's say it's a newspaper ad, well, 95% of the people that see your ad, it's not going to be the right time for them. It might not even be your ideal client, or they might not even live in your area. So a big part of that offline marketing is to actually find the prospect first to be able to offer them something. On the flip side, when you have a website that's working well and it's being found, there are depending on the size of the town you live in or the city you live in. If you live in a really small town, there's dozens and dozens. If you live in a mid-sized city, there's hundreds. If you live in a big city, there could be thousands of people looking for the services that you offer. And if they can't find your website, or if they find it and it's not built correctly to convert them from a visitor to calling you for an appointment, they're going to go somewhere else. So there's a big change in the marketplace, and there's all these people out there looking for your services, and you got to be the business, you got to be the person to be able to have a website that converts them to calling you for an appointment. So the tables have turned, and there's no going back, and this is the future. So you survived until now without dominating your market online, but can you survive in the future? Questions on anything that I've covered so far? And again, Mike and John are going to be getting into this in more detail, nitty-gritty detail here in the rest of the presentation.
No.
Any questions?
Nothing yet.
We're on about a 15-second delay, so if you have a question, go ahead and send it in, and you'll be more than
Here's
happy.
one. Do people actually use Yellow Pages anymore?
They do. If you're, depends on who your target market is. Let's say your target market is older men and women, say over 50, who quite haven't grasped the technology yet. They still use the Yellow Pages, and but it's a thing that you have to track and test to see if it pays out for you. If you're an older, if your ideal client is an older client, say over 50, it's definitely worth tracking it and trying it. If it's younger than that, it's questionable. But one of the other things is that because there's so less, because the Yellow Pages is so not effective anymore, there's less and less people advertising in it. So if you advertise in it, you might be the only one in your area. So if anybody does pick up the Yellow Pages, they're going to come to you because you're the only one there. So it's something that's got to be tested. And what I mean by that is, does it make you money? That's the only test there is in advertising. Does it make you money?
I'm an independent stylist. Do I need a website?
You definitely do, because there's people looking for the services you offer, and how they're going to find you online if you don't have one. You got to have it. Now, it doesn't have to be a big fancy. It can basically be a web page if you want, you know, with a few things here and there.
I feel that people don't want to give their email address to you because there's too much information. Um, because there's too much information delivered by email.
If what you're offering them as a compelling, high perceived value, they'll happily give you their email. If you're just saying, give me your email because I want it, of course they're not going to give it to you. But if you tell them, you know, if you want to get our newsletter, which has all these things, A, B, C, D, just leave me your name, your first name, and your email, and we'll get that to you.
Okay. I think that's it, Mark. Let me
Okay.
say a few things.
Okay.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, everybody.
Great job.
Be talking to you.
Hold on, everybody. Don't leave yet. We're going to break in a minute. Just want to make a couple comments on some of the things that Mark touched on. I just want you to realize how important it is to get this right, this online stuff right. This is where the future is going. If you're in a public, or when the next time you're in a public place, look around, see all these people on their phones looking online for services or just looking online. So at any given point, there's literally hundreds, if not thousands, of people in your local market looking for your services. And Mark touched on this, but I just want to expound on it a little bit more. People who are searching for your services online, they have already decided to buy. Now is just the they're online looking where they're going to spend their money. So when you do your due diligence and have a website that's being found on the internet, and it's built in a way that it converts that visitor to a client at the highest percentage possible, and you're on that front page, you're going to dominate, or it's going to be really, really good for you for a long period of time. And we're getting a lot of questions about, do you guys build websites? Am I going to see a website? How does social media integrate with this? We are going to share a resource with you at the end. For now, I just want you to really keep an open mind, absorb everything that we're talking about here, because it's extremely important for you and your business. John's going to come up next. He's going to share with you the insides and out of a website. Then I'm going to come on and show you exactly what a website needs to look like to convert a visitor. So John's going to share how a website needs to be built to be found on the internet, and then I'm going to share with you once you're found, how to convert that visitor into a client. So hang tight. Let's take a 5-minute break. It is 9:50 Eastern Standard Time. Let's take a 5-minute break. Or actually, yeah, let's take a 5-minute break. We'll be back here in 5 minutes. 9:55.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. I am going to take a question here before I introduce John and we get on with the second segment here. This is an excellent question from Alicia. Alicia. Don't know if you'll touch on this, but I recently got sucked into a scam promising to put me on the front page of Google searches. I called Google and they said that this is not possible and anyone promising this is a scam. Fortunately, I disputed the charge and got my money back, but maybe I could warn people. Absolutely. And John's going to expound on this a little bit more here, but if you build your website correctly, in time, you shouldn't have to pay somebody to have it found on the first page of Google. That's what today's webinar is all about, is having your site built in a way that it organically shows up on the first pages of the search engines. And John's going to talk about what needs to be in place for that to happen. There's a lot of companies out there, once you have a website, that will say, you know, we can SEO it, and John's going to get into that, and we can get your website on the first page of Google. Some can do that, but the other part of the equation is if your website isn't built with all the tools that Mark was talking about in a marketing with a marketing formula of direct response, it's not going to convert that visitor to a client regardless. So you have to have these two things put in place to have your website work correctly. There is a strategy involving social marketing, Facebook, that I'm going to talk about towards the end of this presentation that will help a correctly constructed website get traffic in the early stages of development. And I will talk about that later. It's a huge advantage. It can put your website on the fast track in many markets, and it's a really valuable tool. But I'll talk about that towards the end of the presentation. So, Debbie says, I got scammed too. Yeah, we know. There's a lot out there. Once you put a website online, you get a ton of calls, and John will talk about this. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce John Kelly. He is a highly sought-after search engine optimizer. He's going to tell you what that's all about. He's been a business owner for over 20 years. His focus is always on current requirements of the big three, Google, YouTube, and Facebook. He is an expert on how to build a site properly to get it found on the internet in your local market. And without further ado, I'd like to bring John in, and he's gonna fill your mind with some incredible stuff for the next hour. So, John, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mike.
And give him your best, buddy, as always.
Oh, of course. Hello, everybody. And thank you for hanging in there with us. And now it's time to get your pens and your pens and your paper, your pen and paper ready. We're going to take some notes, but here's the thing. I'm going to give you a lot of detail about a website, how a website works, but I'm going to do it as non-technical as I possibly can. But don't get me wrong, I am a very technical guy. I live and eat and breathe this stuff every single day. But I'm going to try to keep everything in layman's terms for you as much as I can. I want this to be relatable to you, okay? Now, what that's going to do is that's going to bring up a lot of questions. And that's good. I want you to have a lot of questions. Because if so, that means that what I'm actually telling you is starting to trigger things in your brain and realizing that, you know what, there is a need for what I have to do here. But what I'd like you to do is write down your question as well in your notes and hold on to it, because we're probably going to answer it or at least touch upon it. But at the end of my segment here, we're going to have a big question and answer session going, and we'll try to cover everybody at one time to be most time efficient. Okay? So please try to hold on to your questions as much as you can. Like I said, just jot it down. No worries. And let's get rolling here. Okay. Well, first off, Mike alluded a little bit about my background and history. What I am is a marketer. I'm a web developer and a web designer. Okay. And now, web designers, they're a dime a dozen. You can get them anywhere. You can go to Fiverr.com and have somebody build you a WordPress website for $5. It doesn't mean it'll work well, but you could get one that quick and that easy. There's other places out there such as Wix and Salon Builder, and you have Intuit and Web.com, all these different do-it-yourself website places where they'll give you a free website and promise you search engine optimization and all these things, and then for a nominal fee, if you decide to keep their service, they'll charge you a very low monthly fee. And they do. But there's only one problem with that. It's usually after a year of that, you're frustrated saying, I'm getting nowhere. And I thank those companies because they usually come out and find me to rescue them. And so I get a ton of business from those people. Now, same thing happens with the salon and spa industry, is that you find out these freebie things and these low-cost do-it-yourself things just don't work very well when it comes to websites. So it's great if you only need a business card online and you don't care about people searching for what you do and where you do it to be able to find you. If you just need a place to send somebody on the internet, they're great. So you can't knock it. But I'm telling you right now, you're a brick-and-mortar business, you're a business person, whether you're a stylist or whether you're an owner, okay? Regardless, you got to get people in the door. And those models are not going to work. But what I'm going to do is take the time now and show you exactly, and I'm not going to leave any detail out here. But again, low tech, but I'm not going to leave the details out, and show you how this works. Okay, first thing is first, and I'm not going to rehash all this all over again. Mark and Mike touched on it already. Search engine optimization. First of all, let me explain a little something about those words. Now, again, and it saddens me every time I hear that somebody's getting a phone call and they get scammed into one of these schemes that they say, hi, I'm calling from Google Local, and when they're actually not. Believe it or not, I actually get that phone call at least maybe twice, maybe 3 times a week myself. And I always joke, realizing, you just called. But anyway, most of the numbers I have blocked now. But the fact is that there's a lot of people out there, a lot of businesses, so-called businesses, they are trying to scam you. And what they're doing is they're promising you page 1 results. And it's interesting that Alicia brought that up because it's one of the things I was going to open with. And let me explain how it is that they, or what it is that they actually do. What they do is they are actually selling you paid advertisements. So when we go up to a couple more slides here, I'm going to show you that there are 2 different ways when you look at search results in Google, Bing, or Yahoo. There are paid ads, and then there's what's called organic ads, or the free ones, which not ads, but search results that come up on the page. So what they actually do is they'll probably take $300–400 of your money, put probably $100 of that towards paid advertisements in Google, and then the rest of it they keep for themselves and say they're doing SEO, when they're actually not. What they're doing is they're simply doing what's called Google AdWords, okay? And that's how they're promising you page 1 results. But it's very expensive, and considering less than 30% of people ever click on the ads in the first place, it's not the best mix of your marketing budget, okay? So search engine optimization, what I work with is what's called the tried and true organic search results. And I'm going to show you what those are, don't worry. But the organic search engine, or the organic search results that come up when you go in and you type in your keywords, those are the things that come up below the paid ads. And you'll see them also in the area where you see the map results. It says A, B, C, D, E, and it has the local listings are called. That's also organic, and that's called local results, okay, that Google gives you. So believe it or not, if you actually have a brick and mortar type business, chances are you already have one of those map results, and I'm going to show you that. And you got it for free, and you probably don't even know it. And that's one of the other scams that they're trying to get you with, too. Okay, so search engine optimization. It's the, as it says here, process of improving the volume or quality of traffic in a website for natural or organic search results. So let's talk about this for a second. Organic. Okay, we understand the term organic, but fact is, organic has a lot to do with what search engines now are trying to offer you. First of all, the search engines are your friend. Okay, and what I mean by that is that they are very trustworthy in terms of bringing you the best value content they possibly can. Why? That's because there's so many companies out there that are trying to sell to people like you and trying to scam you into picking up their services, and they do what's called black hat or bad guy type of search engine optimization to get page 1 search results. Now Google's pretty wise to that stuff, as well as Bing and Yahoo. But you'll hear me talk about Google a lot because Bing and Yahoo pretty much follow behind Google. Okay, Google's a big player here. But every time a new scam comes along, they pick it up, and you know what happens? If they find that you're doing one of those scams or one of those black hat SEO tactics on your website, they penalize you. And the way that they penalize you is they actually put you beyond like page 2 or page 3 of search results. Your website just suddenly disappears, and you can't seem to find it anymore. Okay? Well, let me tell you something. I know a lot of guys in my field that have tried those tactics to try to get around this quickly, to try to get quick money. Doesn't work. Okay? The only way around this is the tried and true method, and that's the trustworthy, honest way of doing it, or what's called white hat SEO. Okay, think of the cowboys. Okay, you had the black hat cowboys, the bad guy, and the white hat was the good guy. Well, the white hat SEO does things properly, and believe it or not, the search engines actually give you the rules. There's nothing new to this. They actually give you the rules to follow, and I'm going to tell you the rules too. The rules are put up unique, relevant content on your website that relates to what you do and where you do it. Period. Okay? And try to put it up as often as you can because they like to deliver fresh content to people that use their search engine. So, in that sense, now we're going to explain the difference between the paid ads and the organic ads. So here's a slide here to showing, if you look up there in the Google search bar, it'll say hair salons in Stoughton, Wisconsin. Okay, and you can see that there are prepaid ads, and this slide's a little bit old, but because right now you'll see a little icon that says ad underneath each one of those top 2, and sometimes you'll see them down the right side over there where you see that green arrow. But the fact is, they're the paid ads. Okay, that's called pay per click, and that's what the scam artists promise to get you on page 1 of the search results. And they will do that, okay? But the fact is, you're not getting organic results, you're getting paid results. And all it takes is one of your competitors to pay a couple cents more and you disappear. So, and the other thing that I mentioned too, everything in that red circled area there in paid ads, less than 30% of people ever click on the paid ads. Why? Because they're biased ads. And people, and it's like a commercial. How many of you watch a commercial? But what you learn is that when you go below there's the organic ads. You can see the one just at the bottom of the circle there. It says Silverado Point Spa. Okay, and then you look down a little bit more, and you can see Best Hair, Stoughton, Wisconsin, and there's Amber, and she's one of our website members, and you can see she's coming up in the local results, and this is just one slide. I'll show you where she comes up in organics as well. But the fact is that most people don't always even pick the very first organic result. They go down 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. Okay, and they scan the page. You notice how Google has also highlighted all the search terms that you search for. Hair salons in Stoughton, Wisconsin. Take a look down the page. See everywhere where the words are bold? Okay? The words are bold because that's the relevant search results it's trying to send back to you. So you're saying, oh, well, this is easy. All I got to do is put up a website, put up the words that I need people to search for, and it'll come up just like this does. No, not exactly. Maybe 11 years ago that would have worked, okay? But that doesn't exactly work anymore, and that was called keyword stuffing, okay? And Google doesn't like stuffing very much anymore, and they will penalize you for putting too many words in the wrong places, etc. So realize something here, that these search algorithms that Google and others use, that's this little robot that goes online and it crawls every website worldwide, day in and day out, 24/7. It looks at files and it constantly looks for changes. And it looks at every one of your web pages that it can access. Okay? And these algorithms are so sophisticated that they're even looking at spelling and grammar errors. Okay? And let me show you why they're doing that. Okay? And we already talked about this. Over 70% users ignore the biased ads, etc. Okay? But one of the things that they're doing is that they're let me back up here a second, because I already lost my train of thought. Sorry. But what's going to happen is once we take this, I hate when I do that. Hey, Mike, what was I just saying just before I went into the next thing here?
You use the phrase algorithm.
Oh, yes, thank you. I'm sorry. I didn't have enough coffee. My apologies. But with the algorithm, with Google search algorithm, one of the things that they've done is they've taken these organic search results and they said, you know what, if you try to overstuff and put the wrong keywords in the wrong places, again, like I said, we're going to penalize you. But here's the thing. What they've done is they have actually taken these search results and they've placed them into the third and fourth pages of anybody who's using the keyword stuffing methods and the black hat methods and things like that. And unfortunately, a lot of people out there and a lot of these companies that are still trying to scam you and get your money, they're using these same tactics. And there's a lot of really bad information online about organic SEO that used to be good, but these things change so often that you know, if you don't stay on top of it, you can get penalized accidentally. Okay. So, on that note, first off, if I were to go into your website the way it is right now, assuming you have a website, and you say, all right, why don't you fix my website for me, John? Okay. You could do that, but the reality is that any changes that you take place, or that I do, that take place, need a good month to 2 months in order for them to actually start to get recognized. So when I talked about those robots that go out and look at the web pages of your website and they see that you know, there's changes taking place on there, sometimes if your website was pretty stagnant to begin with, well, one of the things that happens, it may not come back for another month. It says, oh, I was at your page before you. You're not doing anything. I haven't seen anything change. So I put you on the back burner and I'll visit you maybe once a month. Okay? So here's a little tip for you right now. The more time you spend building content on your website, the more frequent the search engines come back and look at you. And the more frequently they come back and look at you means that they're more interested in you. And the more likely they're going to bring your search results up before your competitors who are not as busy on their websites. Okay? So, the biggest point that I want to drive home here, and this is something I want you to make sure you write down and take a note of. Google, Bing, and Yahoo, they want to offer trust to their users. They want their users to trust them. And I'm telling you right now, I don't think there's anyone more trustworthy right now than a search engine, because a search engine is so used to being beat up and scammed from people abusing it, trying to get first page rankings all the time, that they've really had to protect themselves by building these very, very sophisticated search algorithms. Okay? So, what they have done over a long period of time, and believe me, I've watched them from the beginning, and I subscribe to them. I'm even in contact with people at Google. I follow them, and I follow their forums, their blogs, etc. You've even chatted with them. Okay, the reality is they'll never tell you exactly what they're doing, but they will always allude to where they want you to go, and it's always the same thing. Put up good, trustworthy, or original content on your website regularly, and you're going to find out that you will do as good, if not better, than most people around you that are trying to compete for what you're doing with. Okay? So that's probably the groundwork that we need to start with. It's called trust. I need to trust you. I want to make sure that you're not scamming me. Okay? So this is what we're going to dig into a little bit deeper here now. Okay? All right. Secondly, saying here, begin your optimization with the end in mind. Decide exactly how you want your site to be found. What is your site's primary theme? Examples: organic hair color and hair extensions, day spa. Okay. Well, think of your website as a book in Barnes and Nobles. Okay. When you walk into Barnes and Noble, think of that as the internet. Okay. And when you go to a section of Barnes and Noble, and that is basically what's called, you did a search or a category, and when you go to that shelf, you brought up a web page, okay, based on your search. So maybe you went into science fiction, and then the next thing you're doing is you're scanning the books that are on the shelf. Okay, well, that's the same thing as looking down the first page of the search results. Now, what is it that you're looking at? You're looking at titles of books. Well, when you're on the first page of the search results, you're looking at the title of the website. So that's the very first thing and the single most important SEO element that you can have on your website is the correct title. And what should that title include? Well, it shouldn't include home. It shouldn't include welcome to my salon. It should not include we're here to help you or something like that, because the title is simply this. That's what people first look at in order to get what it is that you're trying to say. Okay, so when you look at a book, don't you look at the titles of the books first? Sure you do. Okay, so the reality is the search engine, when they come along and they find your website, the title describes in general what your whole website is about. If you have the wrong title on your website, chances are it doesn't matter how many thousands of dollars you put into it, it is not going to perform well, period. Okay? What should your title include? We need to have things in there such as, well, take a look at this example. Best hair salon, Stoughton, Wisconsin. And again, I'm just using this particular one as an example. Okay? That is the title of their website. You notice it's not Lotus Salon and Spa, okay, which is basically, or Lotus Salon is the name of their business. We didn't put that in there because how many people are going to go and search for Lotus Salon unless they know who you are? I mean, if you're branded like Coca-Cola, where the entire world knows who you are, yeah, that might work for you, okay? But remember what it is that we're doing, and this is the second most important thing, next to the title. That is, people search for what you do and where you do it. Think about the last time you used a search engine. What did you do? You opened up Google or Yahoo or Bing and you went in that little search window and you started typing in words that you thought would bring up relevant results, right? Sure you did. We do, everybody does. Okay? But that's the thing. What we want to do is offer search solutions to people based on what it is that you do and where that you do it. Okay? Please write that down. This is really, really important stuff. And that, my friends, should be the title of your website. So for example here, hair salons, Stoughton, Wisconsin, or whatever it may be. Maybe your salon and spa. It doesn't have to have the word best in there, okay? But, you know, depending on what you're doing, and a lot of people do search for the best of something, and that's typically why you'll see that often, okay? Now, is it important to have your business name in the title? Sure, but you know what? We put it at the very, very end of the title. Take a look at that black arrow there. It says #1 there, okay? Notice that it says in bold, Best Hair Salon, Stoughton, Wisconsin, hyphen, Lotus Salon, and then their phone number. Okay, so yeah, their business is still in there. If somebody still does a search for Lotus Salon, they're still going to come up. But it's easy to come up for your business name, but that's only for people who already know who you are. We're talking about getting new clients, new customers coming to you. They don't know your name yet, okay? So that's the second most important thing that I need to get across to you. Okay, basic SEO standards. Okay, now we're going to get flowing here and really start tying those 2 points together here for you and show you how this stuff is going to work. Now, your domain name. The domain name is your website address, like www.miamisbestdayspa.com, for example. Okay, so a domain name is basically your website address, and it is helpful if it has the words in your domain name. Okay, but it's not critical. You do not have to have an exact matching domain name as the title of your website. Okay, it is helpful, but it's a very small part of the whole equation here. If you already have a domain name and it's already your business and you wish to use that, that's fine. That's okay. Now, the other thing is, and of course, we talk about domain buying tips, and we'll get into that a little bit, but not real detail. I actually have a video that we'll talk about later that explains in very detail how to do it. But buying a domain name containing your city and town, yeah, okay, again, something you'd like to do. Here's why. Because if you're in a local area, well, again, what's the average person going to do? If somebody's looking for, they're fed up with the place they go to, they want to find a salon or a spa to go to, they're going to go in and type hair salon, and probably Google is already going to suggest the names of different places in your town because Google already knows what town you're in based on the IP address of your computer. So they're going to start giving you suggestions, so that's why it's helpful to have your town name and your domain name, okay? But more importantly than your domain name is, again, the title of your website, okay? Right back there. All right, so I don't want you to get too fussy about your domain name. Don't worry about that so much right now. Okay, so again, a quick review. Keywords in what's called the title of your website. This is, in HTML terms, this is called a title tag, okay? And you can see that a bunch of code there. That's actually what a search engine sees. It sees, search engines do not see pictures. They do not see pretty. They do not see video. All they can read is black and white text and code, period. Okay, we have to describe in code what is on your page to them, okay, and that's my job. So, but in a sense, you can see there's a title tag, okay, and it explains exactly what you see on the tab of the browser there, okay. That is exactly what we do. And I guarantee you, you can go and do a search. Probably more than 85% of the websites that are found online that are not on page 1 have a title tag that probably says home or homepage or welcome or something like that. You go in and do a search for welcome. Look at the search results that come up, okay? So let's get into the next thing here. When we get into our title, there's also a description of the website. Now take a look at the red arrow there. See where it's highlighted in yellow? Okay, that is what's called the description. That's the next line under the search results underneath the title. So the title corresponds to the words that you see in the search results, and so does the description. Now, the description, you only have basically 2 lines. I often think of it as like Twitter. You have a certain number of characters that will take. So what do? You make sure you get the best words, descriptions that you can get in there, not stuffing it, hair salon, hair salon, hair salon, hair salon. If you do that, you're going to get penalized. So, like I said, that's one of the things you need to do is just generalize, make it short and descriptive, exactly what your website is about or that particular page. Because every page, and here's another little tip, tip number 3, every page of your website can have its own title and it can have its own description. Why is that important? Because you can have multiple pages of your website come up in the search results and not just the home page. Now, I don't know how many of you know this, but when you do a search in the search results, chances are a lot of the search results that you see that are on the first page of Google, Yahoo, or Bing are not the home page of that website that you're browsing. Okay, you're actually going to some inner page somewhere. So if the site was done correctly, then that's exactly what you want. Because what we're doing here with titles and descriptions is we're making your salon and spa, we're breaking it down into the different services that you do. Maybe you do hair coloring, maybe you do facial service, or whatever it is that you're doing in there. Okay, that we want to take each and every one of those pages and make them unique to that particular service or product, whatever it may be. Okay, that way you have multiple pages in your search results, and that's a trick that people today still don't even know, and it's older than dirt. Okay, so these are very common mistakes that happen, and I guarantee you there's some of you out there paid $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 for a website. Do not have this right. You probably have the same exact title on every single page of your website. Okay. Next thing, keywords and the headings. Okay, so we already explained that. Now, as far as description, but the headings, there are different variations. Now, this is getting technical, so I'm going to summarize this quickly for you. If any of you ever use Microsoft Word or what's the other one? But regardless, you would know that if you type something out, there are different levels of headings. There's an H1, there's a heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, etc. So basically, heading 2 is a subheading of heading 1, heading 3, etc. Okay, all the way down to H6, I believe. Now, an H1 heading, or heading 1, is basically the same thing as the main title of your website. Okay, that is a general description of your website. Anything else that's on that page should go down from a heading 2 and a heading 3. You should only have one heading 1 on your page. Okay. Now, once again, there's some technical stuff here, and I'm throwing out a lot of things that are raising questions. So please make sure that if you have a question, please write it down, because again, I got more stuff here I got to cover with you that's really going to make you think. And so hold on your questions. We will get to them. I do promise you that. Okay. But this stuff is more important for you to pay attention to right now, and I don't want you to miss anything. Okay. So, keyword positioning. Yep, that's another thing, and this is tip number 4 that I want to go through. Is that when you do make a page of your website with a service, maybe it's hair coloring for that page, you put in the correct title. Okay, you put in the correct description. And now you're going to put some keywords onto that page, preferably within the first paragraph, perhaps even being bold or italic or underlined. That stands out to the search engines that this is important stuff, and take that into consideration to the weight or to gauge this page how important it is. Okay. We also should have usually a couple of hundred words or more per page to make sure that they have indexable content to make that page worthy of coming up in search results. So again, what are we trying to do? We're trying to offer search engines content that they can deliver to their users that are searching for what you do and where you do it based on what they search for. Okay? So the more information you provide to the search engines, the more the search engines can digest, store away, and serve it up to those people that are searching for something related to what you do. Okay, so this is really, really critical. Okay, and this is where a lot of those do-it-yourself or websites, this is where they stop. This is where they're done. Okay, because what they do is they build a template website for you. It looks great. I mean, it's got all kinds of animations and all kinds of neat stuff on it. It looks beautiful. Okay, the problem is it doesn't have these elements built into it that the search engines care about. Remember, a search engine is blind. It can't see your pictures. It can't see the videos. It can't see anything other than text and things that describe, words that describe your images and your videos. Okay? If those elements are not on there, you're done. Okay? And that's why these big dollar websites fail. Okay? And I'm glad they do it, because it's kept me in business for many, many years. Okay? However, keyword density. Remember I told you we want to have a couple hundred words or more per page or so? All right, we want to make sure that the density of that, we want to try to keep the keywords or the content close to your competitors. We would like to have, if you're a salon or spa and you're doing it in a certain town, and you're doing, let's say, hair coloring. I keep using hair coloring because I'm fixated on that, but maybe it's because of all the gray hair I got going on here. But fact is that I want to make sure that I have hair coloring on there, probably as much, of maybe slightly more than my competitors do for their page. Okay, and there are tools online where you can do a keyword density check. You put in your competitor's web address or the page, and it'll bring up how many words are on that page in percentage. Okay, so another little tip there for you. But again, this is small. This is small change. This is not real important. But what I wanted to show you here is that every single one of these little tips here are building blocks of a foundation for a properly working website that performs. Okay. Okay, I talked about Google is blind. Well, if we put an alternate description onto an image, for example, here, if you look at the second bullet point, there's a piece of code, HTML, describing an organic hair coloring JPEG picture. Okay, notice a little ALT in quotes. It says organic hair color. Okay, that tells the search engine what that image is, because the search engine can't see the picture or know what it contains. So we have to describe to it what is in the picture. Okay. All right. So moving on, content. Well, I think I've gone on long enough about content here. However, I want you to look at the second bullet point here. Okay, in the Google patent itself, in section 48, the amount of detail in the description of an entity. Longer descriptions are given a greater score than shorter descriptions based on the presumption that more words mean more information. Okay? So, what did I tell you earlier? That Google wants content, they want it often, and they want to be able to give the best, most relevant information that's trustworthy to their users. Okay? So Google is a trusted agent. They want you to be trustworthy, and they want to offer you, if you're trustworthy, they want to give you gladly to the users of their search engine. Okay? So now that term right there, number 48, has been abused so bad over the years that that's why Google got really defensive. Okay? And that's why they really got sophisticated, and they learned how to look for scams, keyword stuffing, all that kind of stuff in the content. And you know what? There's a lot of the people out there that they quote-unquote do SEO, that they still do these things, and they have no idea that this is actually hurting more than it is helping. Okay? Believe me, guys, I follow this stuff, and I follow it diligently. I have to. Okay? And the reason being is, let's face it, if your website doesn't work, and you're my client or you're Mike's client, and the fact is that, you know, you're not going to tell anybody about it, and it's not going to evolve, and it's not going to get better for you, and it was a waste of time. So the fact is, you know, my formula of doing what I do with websites, it works. And what I do is I follow the rules, and I do the right stuff, and I stay on top of what changes are taking place out there, and make sure that we incorporate it into the websites. And that's what I'm trying to teach you right now how to do, is follow the rules, do what I'm telling you, this is going to work for you. Okay? By the way, everything I'm telling you here is not new, it's not secret. This is all stuff you can find online. I'm just condensing it down in, you know, that would take you months of research into a very short presentation. Okay? Now, do we have a solution on how to, yes, we do have a solution on how to get all this to work together for you, and that's coming, so hang on there, okay? So I promise you there is a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow here, so to speak. Okay, remember I talked about bold, italic, and key and underlying words that are in your content, okay? All right, and now here's the other thing here too, is remember I said add fresh content to your website regularly? Well, you've heard the term blogging before. Well, what a blog is, what a blog stands for, is called a web log. W-E-B and then L-O-G, okay? You turn that down into blog, or condense it into one word. Now, blogging's been around for many years, and blogs are highly, highly sought after by search engines for trust and authority, okay? They still are, even more so today than they ever were. Okay, because people go on there and they express their feelings and their opinions and they also teach a lot, okay, on blogs. Well, the system that we use involves blogging as well. Okay, we use a system, we use what's called WordPress. WordPress is a blogging system, been around since 2003, tried and true. It's open source software, and it's like search engine lightning in a box, okay? But when you develop it properly and you use your blog with it, let me teach you a secret here. Okay, here's tip number 5. A blog. Every time that you create a blog post on your website, blog post is a little bit different than a website page. Website page is something that's called static content. You put it on there once, you don't really change it. But a blog page or blog post is something that you update frequently. Okay? Maybe you're telling a story. Maybe you're giving an education with different parts of that story. Okay? And you update it weekly. Okay? But what that's doing is every time a blog post in WordPress is created and it's posted, guess what it does? It actually goes out and it does what's called a ping. It sends out an electronic signal to search engines, to blogging directories, to article directories, and anybody out there that uses the services that we stick in there to make sure that they get the ping. Okay? Of course, that's all the stuff that I do, is making sure that they go to the right places. Automatically, within seconds, notifies them that, hey, I just put new stuff on my website. Come check me out. Okay? Can you see the power of that right now? That when you start blogging and putting some information, maybe you just start educating your customers about proper hair drying techniques, or styling, or using a flat iron, or you know, the proper way hair coloring should take place, step by step. You got to give in order to get. And when you give good, organic, relevant information, you become trustworthy. Here's the vehicle I'm talking about, folks. Here's the vehicle. It's using a blog. Now, what I'm also going to show you is how that blog also connects to your social media, like Facebook, Twitter, and Google Plus, and YouTube, and how these things start to tie together. Okay? So, if you notice at the very top line there, it says basics continued. I'm only in the basics part here. I haven't even gotten to the advanced stuff yet. Okay? If your head is spinning, I want you to stop, take a breath for a second. All right? Listen to me for a second. Don't worry. Don't worry. We have a solution for you that condenses all this down into a way that you can handle this and make this relevant for you without a whole lot of work, okay? Without learning everything I've learned over the past 20-some-odd years, okay? But believe me, we have a way for you to do it. We've already thought this out, okay? But what I do want you to do, again, keep your questions, write them down, and we're going to get to them, I promise you, okay? But just please pay attention and just try to just keep your mind open for a little bit. And I'm going to go into a little more detail here about what it is that we're doing and what's needed for a website to work properly. Okay. Now, here's one question I know it's going to pop up. Have more than one main service type? Okay. Have more than one website. So maybe you have, and I'll tell you what's very powerful, maybe you have more than one location for your business. Well, have more than one website because you can get double the exposure or triple the exposure online. Okay? Now, bottom line there in bold, build correctly and your website will sell for you day and night, 24/7, delivering pre-qualified, pre-motivated prospects. You heard Mike say this already, read this to you. Okay? But we can't say it enough. Okay? Because this is an online machine. Okay? Now, another beautiful thing. Did you know that Google gives you the tools to put on your website for free to show you how people find your website, how they stumbled upon you, what page they went into, how they left, what actions they took place, etc. And it's all called Google Analytics. They give you this for free. Why? Because they want you to build your website as best as humanly possible for them to use and give people your wares. They want to help you. You just have to follow the rules, okay? So here's a great little flow chart here that shows you how people have entered your website just from a social network, in this case, Facebook. Look at this. 136 people came in and this is, I believe, a week time period. 136 people came in here, and most of them landed. 130 of them landed on the home page of the website, which is great because that's where our direct response marketing begins. And then from there, they probably went and checked the stat, they looked at services, and they went elsewhere. You can see how this filters down. Did you know that your website, you can look at this the same way? And this is only a very, very, very small part of Google Analytics. Okay, this is a very tiny part of it. But they get in so much detail that, you know, when this is done for you properly, or you do this properly for yourself, you have the ability to see how people visit your website, and then you can adjust it ongoing to modify it to, you know, if something's not working, you fix it because you can see it in your results here. Okay. Now, so like I said, don't worry, head spinning, just relax, take a breath. We're going to get to your questions, I promise you. Like I said, you don't have to remember all this stuff. We're going to give you this in a package that's going to show you how it's going to work for you, okay? All right, so big changes in the way search engines look at websites. Well, they're actually changes that are a little on the older side now, and in the internet world, you know, 6 months to a year is basically like, you know, 2 decades in real life. But something happened in 2011, Google especially. They said, I'm tired of everybody trying to scam me, trying to get first page results. So what did they do? They said they want to have authority. They want to see authority in your work and in your website and in your business. So 2 things took place. 1, they started promoting local businesses more. And here's why. Because when you log into your computer like you are right now, did you know that Google knows exactly where you are located based on the IP address, which is the electronic address of your computer, where it connects to your internet service provider. They know where you are in the world, okay, roughly. And in other words, basically down to the town, they know where you are. So when you do a search for something, the very first thing they're going to do is they're going to deliver search results based on a regional area around you. And that's what's called local search results. Okay, that's the stuff that comes up in the maps. Now, why do they come up with the maps? Well, because number 1, they're brick and mortar businesses. That means they physically exist. And secondly, they've established some kind of authority to be there. I'm going to teach you now how to get that authority. Okay, so authority basically falls right in with trust, because if you're not trusted, you have no authority. Okay. So, number 2 here, organic-based SEO is not as important anymore. There are too many ways to get found online now. So the fact is, yes, organic is still the number 1 way of getting found online. It's still better than paid ads. However, you have to be trusted and authoritative in order to get organic search results to work for you. So many people had first page results forever, and at the end of December 2011, they dropped into oblivion. They can't figure out where they went. That's because Google figured out they had a lot of bad stuff going on, and they penalized them. They got rid of them. Okay? The people that have done it tried and true, they're still there. Okay? 74% of people use mobile devices. Chances are, right now, you're on an iPad, maybe you're on an iPhone, or some type of mobile device. Okay? More than the 74. It's actually much higher than that now, but they're using some type of mobile device to search online. They're probably driving in the car, they got their phone connected, and you know what? They're talking into the phone for it to speak out over the radio speakers where to go. Google search for this. And guess what it does? There is a gas station or something local, or there's a restaurant here or there, and you know what? It's very common. This is today. The desktop and laptop computers, they're starting to go away. Okay? So that means we got to make a website and actually fit the screen of whatever they're on, and that's called responsive technology. So a website, if it's not responsive now, it's already obsolete. So you can drag the corner of your browser in and see if your website actually collapses. And if it does, that means it's responsive. That means it's fitting the window that you're collapsing it into. If it has a scroll bar on the bottom, it's not. It's already obsolete. Okay? Did you know that Google gives more weight to websites that are responsive? Yep. Here's another little tip for you. Social media, never been more important in search results. Okay? Why? It's simple. let me ask you this. What do you feel is, and I would like you to chat this in, okay? What do you feel is the absolute best marketing tool there is, online or offline? Anybody? What's the best tool to get you business?
There's a little bit of a delay.
Okay, yeah, that's right. I think there's like a 15-second delay. I'll give you a hint.
Well, we've already got the correct answer.
We do.
Yes.
I was going to say.
Word of mouth.
There you go. Number 5. I'll give you a hint. It's already on the page. Word of mouth advertisement. You know, and I know, and everybody knows, when somebody tells you something, you listen, okay? And let me tell you something. Word of mouth advertisement is right in front of your face now. People talk on the computer. They talk on Facebook. They talk on Twitter. They talk on YouTube. Okay, they make videos about stuff. All right, they blog. Blogging has been around for so many years. They email. Okay, so word of mouth has just gone electronic. That's all. It hasn't changed. But what I want to show you is how to harness that word of mouth advertisement and use it on your website too. You remember how Mark talked about testimonials? Yeah, they're huge. Okay, we call them online reviews now. Okay, you can get them from Yelp, Merchant Circle, Angie's List, all these different ones that are out there. Okay, they're very, very, very important to get. But did you know that you can also put them on your website and have 5-star reviews directly on your website as well that also get indexed in the search results just as importantly as the other ones do? Yeah, search engines actually want to see those. Why? Because it's word of mouth. It's people saying, proving, I testify that this place is good. Okay? So it's critical to have that kind of stuff. So that's where word of mouth is today, folks. It's online. Okay, search engines love blogs. I already told you about that. Why? Because they're already social. Okay, so responsive technology. There's an iPhone, there's an iPad, both in landscape mode. And you can see how this website fits and automatically scrolls and fits onto the page automatically. So you wanted to see an example of like one particular website. This is a demo one that we have, but you can get the idea here that you know, what we're talking about now is we're getting into how the direct response marketing works with responsive technology in mobile devices and have all the mediums that we just talked about. Okay? But we'll get in a little more about that, but right now I just wanted to show you how this fits the screen. Okay? Okay, authority and trust. Remember we talked about that? Take a look at that slide on the left there. It says straight from Google. Okay. Author information and search results. Google is piloting this, not piloting, it's already enforced now, but Google is enforcing the display of author information and search results to help users discover great content. Check out these sample queries, etc. Now, one thing they did do away with is Google no longer, for now, is showing the picture of you in the search results. For whatever reason, they decided to drop that, okay? I'm not really sure why, but it's something that they're trying right now, and that's very recent. That's only happened over the past couple of weeks. Maybe your market, you still may see pictures, and other markets, you won't see it at all. But the fact is that in order to get that picture there in the first place, or get that listing, they have to have authorship established with the search engines. Well, there's tools. It's called Google Webmaster, okay? And also Yahoo and Bing have the same things, where you can locally list yourself. You can put all the information about your business on there for free, okay? And also create a link from your website back to your profile and establish that you testify that you own this business. You are the person who stands behind the words that are on your page, and you are trustworthy, okay? And you can see that Amber has already established that quite well, okay? In fact, there are very few searches that you've done for that actually didn't come up, okay? But, so remember what I'm trying to say here is that we're trying to get people to trust us, okay? And you know that. You want people to believe in you, okay? Google wants to help people do that too. Google wants to help find the best search results possible and deliver them to people. I'm showing you how to take your trust and your authority and put it on a website for Google to automatically do it for you. This is why this is a selling machine. Because if anybody is searching for anything related to what you do, okay, then guess what? The higher trust and authority you have, the more likely you come up in the search results for people to find you. Is this making sense now? Okay. Okay, here's another tip for you. Tip number 6. The name, address, and phone number, or called the NAP, the NAP. This is a major authority building tool. This is your name, your address, and phone number. In other words, your business name, your business address, your business phone number. And it's called a citation. This is what goes into the Yelp and Merchant Circle, Insider Pages, Yellow Book online, all that stuff, okay? Has to be exactly the same everywhere you put it online, including in your website, because here's why. How many of you have ever used Yelp? And you don't need to chime in, but you probably looked at Yelp reviews. You're probably finding that they're coming up a lot now at first page search results, okay? Super Pages, etc., Angie's List. Why? Because they're reviews, because they're testimonials, because it's people offering first-hand relevant reviews of businesses. And what they're saying is, and Google says, hey, I trust these places that have these reviews. So they're called high authority websites, these local directories, Yelp, Angie's List, etc., etc. Okay? So one of the tricks that you want to do is make sure that you get your listing, your NAP, get that on those particular high-ranking, high authority websites out there. There are actually tools online that you could subscribe to and very inexpensively have them do this for you. It takes a period of about a month for them to build this for you, but you could probably spend less than 50, 60 bucks and have these businesses out there actually build these citations for you. Okay? Very, very inexpensive, very highly effective. Okay? Citations. So again, just another way of providing trust and word-of-mouth advertisement for you. What else builds authority? Well, special author code that we put onto the website. I showed you earlier that they did away with the little picture of you, but the authorship still remains in the search results. They'll put your name right on the search results, right underneath your website, okay? Because you have authorship. If you have a webmaster account with Google, Bing, or Yahoo, and you are able to put that piece of code on your website, and they explain right there how to do that, okay, that helps to give you that trust and that credibility better than your competitors, okay? Making sure that your website's mobile ready, okay? Again, responsive design. Excuse me. Links from other authoritative websites, okay? So when you have other websites that are linking to you that already have established authority, like I said, those directories, or one of the best links you could ever get is from a .edu, like a educational or a government website. They're highly trusted sources. They're very, very, very difficult to get, okay? But links from them back to your websites pass along that authority to you and help boost your website. Connected links between your websites and a Google Plus business page. Yeah. Did you know that Google owns YouTube? YouTube, the second highest search engine on the planet, okay? And you've seen videos, and even the news uses YouTube, okay, to show videos, okay? The second highest search engine on the planet, bigger than Bing, bigger than Yahoo, okay? It's almost bigger than Google itself. Why do you think Google paid, I think, $4.6 billion for it? So bottom line is, YouTube is one of the things that you also need to be involved with. Do you have a cell phone? Yeah. Okay. Well, guess what? I'm going to show you here shortly how to use YouTube to help you boost your trust, your authority, and also make your website more social. Okay. Local maps. Making sure that the local listing in the maps is optimized, connected to your website. Okay. Making sure that you actually have your name, address, phone number in there. Pictures, a video, etc. All that stuff is free. They give you that. Google. I don't know. Maybe I need
Yahoo.
maybe I need a Yahoo, Mike. I haven't had a Yahoo in years. But Google, Bing, and Yahoo all offer local maps and allow you to get your listing on there for free. Okay. And by the way, these are another thing that those scamming websites or those scamming businesses out there do for you. They go in and they claim your local page that you probably didn't even know you have. It's free. They claim it for you, and then they hold it against you, unfortunately, and then it's hard to get it back from them. Okay. Well, bottom line, if you get these calls and you're not sure, you should definitely be sending an email into to the office here and checking with us. Okay. I'd be happy to help you with that. Social media usage and info sharing frequency. Okay, we talked about that. The more frequently you use content online, you use your blog, the more you use your social media connections, it means the more content you're putting online to build up your profile online, your trusted profile. Okay, benefits. Let's see, improved sales. Do you think that would be a benefit? Yeah, I think so. More than half of marketers who have been using social media for at least 3 years reported has helped them improve sales. Boy, is that an understatement. Increased exposure. With as little as 6 or more hours per week, the vast majority of marketers, 92+%, and this, by the way, this comes from a 2014 Social Media Expo. Every year they release a marketing report from social media marketing. This is where these numbers are coming from. These are not just made up, okay? 92% indicated their social media efforts increased exposure for their business. Generated leads by spending as little as 6 hours a week. 64% of marketers see lead generation benefits with social media. Now you're already panicking. 6 hours a week? How am I going to do that? Don't worry, we're getting there, okay? Hang on. All right, real benefits. Reduced marketing expenses, okay? How many of you still advertise in a phone book, and again, you only need to chime in here, but you probably found out a phone book ad alone, just to get in a phone book business listing, costs you a minimum of $300 a year, or actually a month, excuse me. A basic listing, I forget how much that costs, but bottom line is, how many of you use a Yellow Pages book anymore other than for a doorstop, okay, or to fill your recycling bin when they come along? Kids use it for an art project. But bottom line is it's a waste, okay? But if you, again, have the older demographic or your older client base, they do look in the Yellow Pages, okay? So the fact is here, if you are marketing online, it is the lowest cost, most highly effective marketing tool that there is. Why? Well, here's another little statistic that Mark didn't talk about. The average age group of people, the age cutoff point where people stop using the internet for doing a search for what they need and where to get it, is currently at the age of 68. Okay, just a few years ago, that age was about 55, 56. Why is every year that the older and older people get, the more they're using the internet? It's because their kids and their grandkids are all online, and that's how they're communicating with them. They're finding out that they can use Skype, okay, and view them online. They can use Facebook to keep track, okay, email, okay. So bottom line is you need to be up there, okay. So we're going to get improved search rankings, no doubt about it. Increased traffic, okay? Developed loyal fans, okay? You're building, not only getting new clients, but you're building a client base with this as well. Okay, so here's a marketing report, industry report. You can see that number one up there is Facebook is still the most popular medium, okay? But you can see YouTube on the rise. The most top platforms, again, Facebook, okay? So I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about this stuff, but you can see obviously people are online and they're using social media channels. What we're using social media channels for is connecting them to your website and have them work together to build you that trust and authority. Okay, business to business and business to customers. Well, B2C people, which are the majority of you, are using Facebook more so than business to business, okay? So that's just another interesting little tip. Okay. Google owns YouTube. I told you about that already. The second largest search engine on the planet, okay, places higher priority search results on page number one, even over local map results. How many times you've done a search and you found out a video came up in the search results? A lot. It happens all the time. Okay. So, did you know that you could take a little 30-second video of a customer testimonial and place it directly on your website, and Google absolutely loves it and they digest it like it was a cupcake? Okay. And plus, then you have that YouTube account connected to your website and connected to your profile and connected to your webmaster account and your Google Plus page and all these places that it's linked to, showing you that you're a trusted, that you're somebody that we can trust and it offers up content regularly. Yeah, these are the tricks, guys. These are the things that make a website perform, okay, to get you that traffic, okay? So, and here you go. All age groups respond to video. It's like watching TV, and it's easy, okay? What's trending in 2014? 69% increase in YouTube alone. Facebook is slowly beginning to decrease because people are getting a little bored with it because they're pushing so many ads on it, okay? But YouTube, huge. Okay, search engines give free local map listings on their maps. Yep, so does Bing and so does Yahoo. Okay, we showed you that earlier. They give you a free local search results on the organic search. Why am I stammering today? Excuse me. They give you free local organic search results in the search engines. Okay. Have your salon or has your salon respond listed free on Google Places for Business? Okay. You can have it done for free in Google Places for Business if it's not already there. You can do a search by Google. Don't do this right now, but write it down. Just go to google.com/business. Okay. And you can actually find out if you are in the local maps or not. If you're not on there, you can submit your business on there with name, address, and phone number, create an account, etc., and get it up there for free. It takes about usually a month and a half for it to start to show up in the maps. But even if you are already there, chances are you may be, if you're a brick and mortar business, you can go in there and claim that, okay, as your own. Okay, so once again, we're looking at a view of search results in Google. By the way, we keep using Google a lot because Google has the lion's share of users who search on the internet, okay? That's why we keep harping on Google so much. But you can see in the search results there, the map results, see how they give you a snippet off of the side of the search results? I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, they come up there in the map results, and they also give you a picture of the salon, and that's what's called optimizing your local maps. See how they have pictures in there, they have the map, they have their name, address, and phone number, they have reviews, all that stuff, okay? Google Local or Yahoo Local is the same thing. It's just not as sophisticated. They never really were, okay? And the same thing with Bing. They also give you map results, okay? And you can go to Bing Places to get that. And I'm sorry, let me back up to Yahoo again. You can go to listings.local.yahoo.com and you can get in there as well. You can just search for Yahoo Local Business and it'll take you to the same place. Okay? All right. So bingplaces.com is another place to get. Online directories, I'm not going to go into that anymore, but I already told you that's where word of mouth is. Okay? In one computer, out another, as the graphic down there shows you. And these are your top performing citation sources that are very highly trusted by search engines. And when you got a link, and by the way, not only do you get your name, address, and phone number in one of these, but you're also getting a link from one of them by putting your website address in there back to your website. That's a very powerful link that passes on authority from them to you. Okay? Directory tips. Okay? Now, I'm not going to ask you to bribe anybody, but bottom line is, if you can get somebody to go to one of these and find out where your reviews page is, get the web address and say, hey, give them a little flyer or handout, say, can you go here and leave us a review? Well, I'm going to show you how you can also put that review in your website and just send them to your website instead, okay? And you can get a review on there as well. Okay, points to remember, name, address, phone number, okay? That's important. That's your signature online, okay? That carries weight. Think optimization when filling out information, okay? So when you go to Yelp or Yahoo, or not Yahoo, Yelp or Merchant Circle or Angie's List, make sure you're doing it the same exact way every time. Make sure you're describing your business and your services. Okay. A couple more tips. Do you live in a small town? It's not a problem. Google will make a radial search. Okay, so by doing a local map, again, they know where people are searching for based on an IP address. If there's a lot of competition, chances are you may not pop up on the map right away. Okay. If there's little competition, chances are you'll pop up immediately. Okay. But don't worry about that. You don't need, if you live in one town but you get clients from another town, don't worry about that. Okay. Don't try to get all those names of all those towns on your website. You put in your town, Google figures it out for you who lives near you. Okay. Let's see. All right. Website integration. Yep. We're going to get YouTube on your website, preferably on a home page. And again, we already talked about YouTube, about getting you better search results and more interaction. Because let's face it, what would you rather do, read something or watch a video? Well, me, I like watching videos. Okay, so if you have a quick little video of a testimonial or a little introduction on your website, and again, very short, 20, 30 seconds, no longer than a minute, okay, it's perfect. Okay, to get people, get that direct response, get them to call you, fill out a contact form, make an appointment link, whatever it is that you're trying to drive them to on your website. Very, very, very important. Okay. Facebook website integration. Getting Facebook actually feeding onto your website is something, it's a little trick that can be done. It's actually free, it's easy to do, and when you're using a system like WordPress for your website, it can be done very simply. Okay, but what that also does is it passes along Facebook authority to your website, and it gives people a place to go and check out your Facebook page as well and interact with you. Blogging, I went into detail about blogging, but the beautiful thing about it is that it automatically adds fresh content regularly to your website. And remember, the website is no good if you just build it and do nothing with it. Okay. It's pretty much like your hair, okay? You spend a lot of time and money on your hair, and if you never wash it or style it, what would you really do that? I mean, okay, maybe it's a little bit of an extreme here, but when it comes to your website, you need to put the content up regularly as well, and maybe even once a week or once every other week, okay, would be the worst case scenario, okay? But I'm not saying 3-4 times a day either, okay? If you can get up there a couple times a week, that'd be great. Each short little articles, teach somebody something, okay? And believe me, we got stuff in there to teach you how to blog, giving you ideas, not to mention. Okay, now I put a lot of stuff into your head, and I'm hoping you wrote down those questions, okay? Because now is the time to ask them. So please fire away.
We've got questions already coming in. How often should I be updating? How often should you be updating content?
Well, like I said, if you want to update your website, when you have static pages, let's say you have an About Us page, you're not going to update that very often, okay? Because, you know, it's like your mission statement page. How often can that change? Not very often. That's where a blog comes in handy. So you can go in there maybe once, twice a week. And by the way, if you're using WordPress like I'm showing you here, you can actually schedule this. You can actually set up a time and a date for when it releases. You can do like 15 of them for the entire month, okay, and have them go out on an automatic schedule and sit down and write them all in about an hour. Okay, so to answer your question, we want to try to get content up there as often as possible, okay? Why are Facebook and other platforms so popular? It's because people are on them constantly. They're constantly adding media on the internet. So I'm not trying to say you need to keep up with Facebook and Twitter. You're not going to. But what you can do is try to keep your website relevant. Okay?
All right. I already have a website that was Build My Own. I did it from Weebly.com. I did buy my domain. Oh boy, a lot of questions coming in. I did buy my domain name. Should I not be using this website and paying someone to do or should I not be using this website, or should I pay someone to do a site for me instead? Are the build your own sites just useless?
Well, a lot of the build your own sites, if you're trying to use it for search engine optimization, you're trying to use it to compete against people around you, businesses around you, that's when they become useless, depending on how busy or how saturated your market is. Okay? If you just want to have an online business page and you're getting your clients elsewhere, well, first of all, I don't know why you're here. But secondly, that doesn't happen. Okay? The fact is that you need to have a website that's driving new clients for you. Those do-it-yourselfers really do not work. So to answer your question, if you decided that you want to get an upgraded version of your website, it will probably even cost less money for you over the long term, but even be highly effective. You can transfer that domain to a new website, no problem. Or here's what you can also do: keep that website, keep it up, build a new website with a new domain name, and then you can eventually do away with the other one if you choose.
I'll just add this: a good website is good marketing, and good marketing doesn't cost you money; it makes you money. What kind of video should I make?
Videos, great question. Okay, one of the best videos and the easiest ones to do is when you got that client in the chair and they're loving it. Okay, what you just did, that's the time to pull out your little cell phone or your iPad or something, and just ask them, do you mind if we just do a quick little testimonial video? Or even before, when they get in the chair, do you mind if we do a before and after of you? You know, I'm telling you, it's gold. And then you can get most phones and mobile devices have an application or an app that automatically connects to YouTube, and all you have to do is click send, okay, and you give it a title, and then that video can be embedded onto your web page of your website, okay.
Why is it that iPhones and iPads can't find my site? I find it on Google and Bing.
Mm-hmm.
It's found on Google and Bing, but not when you use iPhones or iPads.
Probably the way it was built, probably the code, the foundation of the website is probably poor. That's very common, actually.
Can I SEO my do-it-your-own website? You said it isn't possible. Can I SEO that?
Some of the website builders out there do allow you to put in titles and descriptions and keywords, but that's it. Okay. The problem is that the underlying problem with those websites is that you're using their fixed template, and they do not allow you to do any code customizations, which a lot of websites require, okay, in order for them to work properly. That is the problem with the do-it-yourselfers. They just don't let you do it the way that it needs to be done. If you can, great. Chances are it's not going to happen. Okay, so many people converted over from Weebly, Wix, Salon Builder, Intuit, Web.com, you name it. I mean, dozens and dozens and dozens, every year.
This is a four-part question, all good ones. So it doesn't matter where you buy your domain name from. I heard there are peaks in the day that get better response. Have you heard that? Is Web Builder Pro okay to use compared to WordPress? Can you buy several domain names and link them all to one website instead of buying several websites?
Okay, great questions. Let's start with number one. Where to buy a domain name? You can buy a domain name anywhere. You can get it from GoDaddy. You can get it from Namecheap. Anywhere you wish to get. Okay, that really doesn't matter. Now,
let me just say, and she also asked, once you buy it, can somebody else buy it from another company? No, that's your domain name. Once you buy it, it's not available for other people.
Yeah, your domain name is your own real estate. It's like buying a house. Okay, and when you buy domain names, you're actually buying up real estate online. So one of the tricks is make sure that you buy the domain name that is your business name, if possible. Okay, and then buy the variations to it as well. But you only need one domain name to point to a website. So I think the last question was, can I buy a bunch of domain names and point them to my website? Yes, you can buy as many websites, or many domain names as you wish and forward them to your website. However, big misconception here, those other domain names have no search engine optimization value whatsoever for your website. Okay, they will not be found in search results. The only way that they will work is somebody types in that exact domain name and then it forwards automatically to your main website. Okay, so only one domain name counts when it comes to a website. Any ones that you have forwarded to it, they are useless in the search results.
Is Web Builder Pro okay to use compared to WordPress?
Web Builder Pro, I have seen that before, and as far as optimization techniques, I would have to question that, okay, and question in terms of longevity and changes, I don't see it. I don't see it as being as good. Okay.
How do I get Google Analytics?
Google Analytics. Okay. Google Analytics, if you go to google.com/analytics, okay, it'll ask you to sign up for an account. It'll give you a piece of code, and you place that code. You basically copy and paste it and put it on a place in your page of your website. It either goes in a footer or in a header template of your website. Again, if you're using some type of template system, do-it-yourself or type thing, you probably have no option to do that. However, they may give you a little place to put just the UA number to give you analytics. But again, let me remind everybody something. We have a solution here we haven't even gotten to, okay?
Which page should we put first? About us, services offered, find us, etc.?
That really doesn't matter. The very first thing I would have in my organization structure is I would have testimonials or reviews.
I have 2 websites currently with 2 different companies. Is this conflicting with the Google rules? Great questions.
2 different, read that one again.
She has 2 separate websites with
Right.
2 separate companies. She's wondering if that conflicts with Google's rules.
No, not at all.
That's
Not at
an
all.
awesome position.
Yeah, that's where you want
If
to
they're
be.
generating your clients.
Yes.
Can you explain the special author code a little more? How do I do this, and can I add this to my DIY website?
Probably not. You probably can't add it there because, again, that has to go what's called the head element of the website code. And, again, with the template systems, they don't give you the option to go into the template, period. Okay? Because if you do something wrong, it's going to destroy it. It's going to lock up your server. That's why they don't do it. But to get Google authorship, you go to google.com/webmasters. Okay? google.com/webmasters, and you can create a Google account, get a free webmaster account, and in there you follow the tutorials at how to get authorship added to your website. But again, this is technical stuff, everybody. This is stuff that I do for a living that people pay me to do, okay? And it's not easy, but like I said, we do have a way of integrating all this stuff together for you. Okay, so stay tuned.
Do you recommend a business Facebook page be under personal name or business name?
Well, a Facebook page, regardless, is a page in itself. Even if you have a personal account, you can create a business page, and it has nothing to do with your personal account. Okay? The only way people can see your personal stuff is if you friended them on your personal page. When it comes to which is your timeline, a newsfeed. Okay? But when you go to a business page, you can create a business page using your personal account, and that is entirely different, and you don't have to worry about people seeing your personal stuff.
How do I get my local listing back from a scammer site?
That's really hard. First, you need to go and create a Google Webmasters account. You need to verify that you are the owner of your website, and that's where this authorship comes in. And then you need to submit a request to Google to show that hey, this is my business, I need to get it back. What they will do, they will actually email the person in question that has your local listing and request ownership change. And that's about the best that you can do. Okay.
I can answer this one. I paid for 350 likes on my Facebook page, but no one's coming from Facebook to my spa. Well, likes, a large amount of likes doesn't mean somebody's going to respond to a post you put in Facebook. Good marketing is good marketing. You have to be able to reach people from your Facebook page. They have to be engaged on your Facebook page. Then you have to put a marketing post in there to get reaction. Okay, I believe you said that you can have more than one domain name for different pages. Yes or no?
No. You can have more than one page title in different pages. See, a domain name is the web address, just like the address of your house. Okay, so your street address. Well, think of your website having a website address. Okay, so www.yourwebsite.com. Okay, that points to your entire website, which contains all these different pages. But not every page of your website can have its own domain name. It doesn't work that way.
What are your feelings about WordPress versus Bloghost?
Well, I don't use Bloghost, so that I don't know. So I really can't answer that question right now. But it is something I could research more for you and find out, though.
What do you think about Instapage, or what do you recommend?
Oh, okay. Well, again, we're going back to talking about do-it-yourself stuff. Okay, please. This is another one of the things that these scammers. And I'm not trying to. Not everybody out there is a scammer. Okay, but what I'm trying to do is trying to get you to avoid a lot of the pitfalls that these businesses out there. A lot of them are very legitimate businesses, are trying to get you to fall into, and that is to fall into the realm of quick, easy, fast, and it's going to be done for you. Okay, I mean, not done for you. What I mean is that they're going to guarantee you this, that, and the other thing immediately. It doesn't happen. If anything takes place worthwhile, it takes place over time naturally. Okay, so again, what I do, just so you know, is I use WordPress for a reason, because it's self-hosted. That means I control the server, the IP address, where it is, and it's a trusted resource all by itself. It's not sitting on a server with hundreds of thousands of other websites that could be possibly porn, it could be pharmaceutical, it could be spam, okay? You don't know what else you're going to be in the same neighborhood with, okay? So that's one of the reasons, again, why you want to get away from the do-it-yourselfers.
Okay, we're getting a lot of questions about building a website. We're going to share with you. We're going to share with you what we can do for you. We're going to share with you options for that. Okay, so don't be confused. Don't be irritated. Don't be anything of that nature. Just relax. We're going to give you options that are incredible for you today. At this time, we need to take let's take a 3-minute break. Okay, a 3-minute break. So it's 11:22. We're going to let you just run to the potty real quickly and get back here in 3 minutes. 11:25. We'll talk to you in 3 minutes.
Okay, guys, so we are back. I just want to reassure you that I want to thank John for that wonderful presentation. He is here for any additional questions in terms of anything that you have questions on. He's answering questions privately now and will be available throughout the rest of this presentation. We've got about 35 minutes left here, so I want to make sure that we do answer all of your questions, and I want to reassure you that we are going to provide a solution for you that is going to be wonderful for today. So don't be frustrated, don't be irritated, don't feel like the world's coming to an end, because it's not. And you can imagine how I felt when I first started looking at this and had the solutions for it and saw all these what was happening online. I felt the same way for our members. So that's why we decided to take things into our own hands and get this part of the business done right. So John talked about how to build a website to get found online, which is extremely, extremely important, but it's only half of the equation. The other half of the equation is when somebody finds your website, it has to be built in a direct response way so it converts that visitor into a client at the highest percentage rate possible. You're not going to convert every person who lands on your website, but you want your website constructed in a way that's going to give you the highest percentage, the highest chance to convert that person into a client. It is a marketing tool. And I'm going to show you what they look like, and we're going to dissect them one at a time. The first thing that you're going to notice is that they are not pretty. They've gotten a little prettier over the years. A few years ago, they really weren't pretty, but they work exceptionally well. They're not gorgeous, and I want you to keep in mind it's designed this way for a reason. Gorgeous doesn't work. Gorgeous works if you want to brag to your family and friends how beautiful your website is, and you're at a party and you want to show them how gorgeous your website is. Fine. Go spend $5,000 or $10,000 on a gorgeous website just so you can show your family and friends. But I'll guarantee you, if you take the website that I'm going to show you and you put it against that gorgeous website that costs $5,000 or $10,000, the website I'm going to show you is going to outperform that gorgeous website 10 to 1 every single time. Absolutely. We are visual people. We are stylists. We are in this industry. But we are not our own clients, and you have to keep that in mind. So we have to leave our opinion of what is beautiful and what works off to the side, okay? Because that doesn't matter. The only thing that matters are the results. And remember, people who find your website and we turn them into clients, they are not your clients yet, okay? So this website is to generate new clients for your salons and spas. If you're a stylist, if you booth rent, if you rent a suite, if you are responsible for getting your own clients, you need to have a presence online, a strong presence online heading into the future. Good marketing is good marketing along with good work, or great marketing along with great work is a home run. And you have to have offline marketing that works. We know that. If you remember this program, you know that. You also have to have online marketing that works as well. So let's take a look. Formula: great marketing combined with great search engine optimization combined with salon and spa industry knowledge combined with years of testing equal hundreds of successful salon and spa and stylist website. Here's the only website formula that will drive in new salon and spa clients into your business every week. Okay, this is a salon website. We're going to dissect this. I just want you to get a snapshot of this in your mind, like I told you. The first thing you're going to notice, it is not gorgeous. It has a lot of content on it. Why is that? Search engines cannot see pictures. Search engines read content. Okay? And you'll notice all the formulas on the top. We're going to dissect that one at a time, on the side, in the middle. It's all designed to get you found online and then convert that visitor into a client. Here's a stylist website. They're virtually the same thing, but I just wanted to give you an idea of what our stylist membership sites look like, how they need to be built to convert visitors to clients. We're going to dissect this down so you can see it all. Okay, so let's start at the top. Now, I want you to keep in mind how important marketing is. Mark went through the aspects, or the formula, if you will, of what needs to be in a good marketing piece, and we all know that a website is a good marketing piece that you need to have. So let's dissect this one at a time. Above the fold, this is when, if you're at a laptop or a desktop. Now, this isn't so much if you're on a phone and somebody finds your website, but if you're on a desktop or a laptop and somebody comes to your website, they're searching for services in your area, your website shows up. This is what will show up on their screen. They don't have to scroll down to see this. This is very, very important, because this is where your subject line or your banner is going to show up, and you only have a few seconds to grab their attention. So it's extremely important to be able to grab their attention so they spend the time to look at the rest of the website. So you'll see the phone numbers at the top, the big bold guarantee, you'll get the best service ever's in the middle, your picture with your name under it, because like Mark said, people like to do business with people, not faceless corporations. You see the logo over to the left, that's optional. We do recommend that you do put your name in there. If you have a logo, that's great. If not, that's no problem at all. And then below that is the content, the 9 reasons why somebody should choose your salon or spa, or you as a stylist, or you as a tech. Now, that content has to be your unique stuff. One thing that John, I'm not sure if John touched on this or not, but it's very important to have your own content on a website. You just can't go to another website, grab all their content, and build a website using that exact content. The search engines will slap you for that. They will not give you good grades. It'll not show up in the search results. So your content has to be edited, it has to be unique, and it has to be relevant to your local area, because people use different search terms for different things in different parts of the country. Up north here, you know, there might be people in different parts of the country that still say layered look, layered haircut. There might be parts of the country where people say Jennifer Aniston haircut, believe it or not. So what I'm trying to get at is there's unique content to your unique area, and you want to make sure that you're using that content on your website and when you're blogging. You'll also notice the very important feature that Mark talked about, that first-time visitor coupon has to be really prevalent and above the fold. Okay, that's an important piece of the marketing formula. It doesn't matter if somebody earns $1 million a year or if somebody earns $15,000 a year. People are wired the same way. Okay, that first-time visitor coupon will close the deal for a lot of people that are trying to decide which business to have their hair done, to have their nails done, to have their massage done. That is a closer. It needs to be there on that page, on every page in your website. The middle fold, you'll see that you'll see the Facebook feed onto the right. John talked about how important that is to have Facebook integration on your website, have those two linked together. It's really important with the search engines, with search engines showing you in their search results. It's also important to engage people, to drive people from your Facebook page to your website and vice versa. It's just a fantastic tool, and John talked about authority, and that's part of the authority of the site. You'll also see that you continue with the 9 reasons. That's the content. Has to be your unique content that answers the question, what's in it for me? When a prospect, a potential client, they read that headline, then they get into the body of your website, you've got to answer the questions. What's in it for me? Why should I come here? And you'll see like honest pricing. Now, these are examples. Honest pricing, no hidden cost, communication. You'll be very happy to find that we emphasize communication. You'll get the best service ever. Excellent communication coupled with determination to make you happy ensures that your service is the best. Skilled and talented professionals, licensed massage therapists, best salon products available, expert secrets revealed. Those are all questions that answer, or those are all topics that answer the question, why should I come to your salon or your spa, or if you're a stylist, why should I choose you? Those are questions that people have. Those are the answer to those questions. It is also a wonderful opportunity to put in those key terms, those key search terms that John was talking all about. Okay, putting them in organically, so when somebody does sit down in your area and they type in, I'm looking for X service at I'm looking for the best service ever, it's in your content. I'm looking for a salon that emphasizes communication. I'm looking for a talented stylist. I'm looking for a licensed massage therapist. I want really great products. Those things are on that are contented on your website. That's what's going to make a connection between that person searching and between your salon. Like John was talking about, it's the search engine's job to take what was typed into that little box on Google as an example and then match it with the best example that they can find. And building a website correctly with all the content on it that we're talking about gives you the best chance to show up in those search results for any possible keywords that you can think of. So there's no shortcuts anymore. There really aren't. And John harped on that in his presentation. You know, there just aren't any shortcuts. That's why, you know, those SEO, when you build a website and you put it online, all of a sudden you start getting calls from these SEO guys. Oh, I can get you on the first page. I can get the website on the first page. Well, they can't, number one. And number two, if your website isn't built correctly, it doesn't matter anyways, because even if people find you, they're not going to turn into a client at a high percentage rate if you do not have the formula that we talk about. Okay, so you heard Mark talk about following up with prospective clients. So somebody who comes to your website, if they're not ready to do business with you that day, you have to have devices in place to capture their emails so you can stay in contact with them, follow up. So when they're ready to make that choice, they choose you. And that's what the newsletter is all about, and I'm going to show you another couple options for that as well. And this is really important as well. If you're a salon and spa and you're looking for employees or renters, anything of that nature, having an employment opportunity guide on your website is extremely important. Extremely important. This way, you can use every day, or you can use like the common things like Craigslist and put an ad in Craigslist and drive them to your employment opportunity guide. And I'm going to show you what that looks like a little bit later here. But an employment opportunity guide is basically a sales letter for your salon or spa as to why someone would want to come and work for you, and it gives them instructions on how to contact you confidentially. That's huge, having that on your website. Over time, that'll get picked up organically as well. So when somebody sits down in the area and says, I'm looking for a new job, if you've done a great job with your employment opportunity guide, then guess what? You're going to start showing up in job search results for a hairstylist looking for a job. So that's a really, really important piece to this puzzle if you are a salon or spa who are currently or always looking for employees or renters, anything of that nature. You don't want to be in a position where you've got a 6-chair salon and you've got 3 chairs open or only 3 chairs taken. Okay, you want to be in a position where you've got all 6 filled and you're still consistently or constantly looking or have it out there that there's employment opportunities available to you. Okay, that way somebody leaves, you've got a list of people, they come right in, they fit right in, boom, off you go. You don't lose a step. Very, very important in today's competitive world, and it separates you from all the other businesses in your area as well. Okay, bottom fold. You'll see the YouTube video. The integration of that is very important, like John was talking about. YouTube, I think it's the 2nd largest search engine on the internet. So you want to participate in that. You want to have how-to videos. You want to have testimonials. Anything that you can think of. There's no bad idea when it comes to videos, and you want to have those titled correctly. So so when somebody types in something, they show up. Having video testimonials on your website is really a great idea because, like Mark was talking, what somebody else has to say about you is a lot more important than what you could ever say about yourself. And there's nothing more powerful than having an actual person say something great about your business, in a 20 or 30-second video. So that is a really great idea to have that. On the bottom fold, you'll also see the Consumer Awareness Guide. This is also a great tool, like the newsletter, to capture email and first name of prospective clients. So somebody comes to your website, they're not quite ready to leave the salon they're at, or they're not quite ready to get their hair done. They opt in for the newsletter, they opt in for the consumer guide. You follow up with emails when they're ready to choose a salon or spa or a stylist. The name of your business is going to be first on their checklist because you've done a great job with following up. And that's a really great guide. It asks the question, or it's the 7 biggest mistakes people make when choosing a salon and how to avoid them. That's for a lot of people out there, especially if you have like really unique services, and I'm talking about maybe like laser therapy, or if you do wigs or men's hair units. If you do extensions, you want to have a consumer guide that really explains the difference between your unique service and your competitors' services. And this is really a great way to do that, to have that on your website. It'll really close the deal, and it'll allow you to keep in contact with them. You'll also see that it's extremely important to have your 100% guarantee on that home page of your website. That can be the difference maker. If you have 2 identical websites and one has a guarantee on it and the other one doesn't, that one with the guarantee is going to win out 10 out of 10 times because it shows people that you are confident in what you do and you're willing to back it up. So that is extremely important to have that on there as well. Okay, so you see the outer frame there. It's displayed. It needs to be displayed on all pages. So you see the middle part here is all blue. That's the content of your website. The rest of that outside are pictures and the website integration, and below the content would be your YouTube video. Those are pictures, if you will. The search engines don't read pictures. What they read is the middle of that website. That's where you want to put all your content. That's where you want to have your what's in it for me on the home page, your testimonials, your service page. You want to go into really deep detail with your services. The more information you can talk about with the services that you render in your salon or spa, or for yourself if you're an independent stylist or tech, the better off your website's going to be. Those are places for you to get those keywords in that people search for. Okay, so you want to get those in organically. John talked about, you can't just list keywords. The search engines are like brilliant. I think someday they're going to actually take over the world. I really do, because because they are brilliant. Okay, you can't sneak by them anymore. You have to do things the right way. You can't just list keywords from top to bottom of your page. They have to be put in there in a natural way, and when they're done that way, then the search engines will give you high rankings for your website. So a service page is an excellent opportunity to get all of those search terms in there that you can think of for anything anybody would be using to search for your services in your area. Needs to be responsive for all mobile devices. This is extremely important. I can't say enough. We had a question there. Somebody's website was not showing up on mobile devices. Well, that's a big problem. Okay, if it doesn't show up at all, that's a huge problem. Responsive means whatever screen you're using, the website will show up. Like, you don't have to scroll from side to side to see the website. You only have to scroll down. Okay, so the website is it just forms to the screen that you're using. This used to be like, for some, it's an added-on feature that you have to pay literally hundreds of dollars to make sure your website does. This should be part of your website. This is a no-brainer. You have to have this because, so many people are using mobile devices to search for your services. If you're watching this presentation on a mobile device, you'll see that it fits the screen. A couple months ago, it did not. But the people who provide this service, they got smart and said, we got to make this fit the screens of people or whatever device they're using. And it's the same with your website. You have to do this. Okay, so any questions before we get into the last segment here? Any questions for me, Jen?
No, but we have not yet. They're just starting to come in. But Rose, I don't know if you can hear us, but you may have lost your internet connection. Probably can't hear me. I'm trying to message you back. You can always restart the webinar if you can hear us but can't see us. Okay. Right now, a few of the questions I've been answering along the fly here. So.
Anything we should answer out loud?
Right now, not yet.
Okay.
I mean, there's nothing popping in. I don't know. Just chime in, make sure everybody can still hear us okay. I know there's a little delay, okay?
Yep, okay. We'll just give it another second here.
Just go into the chat box and let us know if you can hear us okay.
Just give it another couple seconds here. Got a lot more to cover here, so stay with us, please. Go ahead, Jen. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Chris has a question here. It says, what is the average cost to build a good site? Is it better to buy the files that we own and have permanently, or have someone run it for us?
We're going to get to that in a second, Chris. Let me just say this. I've heard members who've spent $5,000, even, believe it or not, $10,000 on a website, and I would say that would be great as long as the website's generating a ton of clients from it. So good marketing is always, how much you're willing to spend for a client, okay? So, but no, you don't want to spend that kind of money. What you want to do is pay attention to this next short segment here and then make a decision yourself. But good marketing doesn't cost you money, it makes you money.
Okay, questions are rolling in, Mike.
Go ahead. Fire away.
Okay. Cheryl's asking, so how about the web pages that your provider offers, like Comcast?
maybe you ought to answer that one, John.
Okay, yeah. Cheryl, it's something we talked about earlier. That's kind of the same thing as the do-it-yourself for pages. Even though you're not really doing anything, in a sense, what they're doing is they're taking the same old rubber stamp template they use over and over again, and I've seen them where they, especially Comcast, even Time Warner, our Frontier pages, they don't even change the content. I found other business names on them, even though it has nothing to do with you. So, no, they're really not good, Cheryl. Okay, and Joyce is still thinking about her questions. And, all right.
You know what? It sounds like a lot. It sounds like the questions are all going to be answered in this next segment. So let's just go in.
Yeah.
They're all about, how can I get a website built, things of that nature.
Yep.
So let's go. All right. So that was a lot of information. You may be feeling a tad overwhelmed, which many of you are at this point, and that's perfectly okay. Because like I've been telling you, this basically means that you have two choices on where to go from here. Choice one, you can take all the tips and info we just gave you and try to put the puzzle pieces together on your own website with social media and YouTube video integration without assistance from us. And who knows, you may get lucky and one day see some progress. That will take longer, of course, and you'll make a lot of painful mistakes, but you definitely can choose this. Or there's a smarter choice, the one really savvy salon and spa owners and stylists take to speed up their progress toward getting the new clients, boosting their profits. The only true website package, new client generating system specifically for salons and spas and stylists that requires very little of your time, yet is still only the surefire and cost-effective way to consistently attract new clients and boost profits from your online efforts. This radically simple yet effective new client generating website system will work for you even if you are located anywhere in the English-speaking world, are in a small town or big city, are a small salon or spa with one or few chairs, are a big salon or spa with several chairs, are an independent stylist or tech, offer a few services or have several services,
Are a chair renter or booth renter? Are a commission salon or spa, salary or you pay by the hour? Are super busy because this is a lifestyle-friendly website program? Are not computer or internet savvy? Are you new to the salon and spa industry? Are a seasoned salon or spa owner? Don't you think you've been lied to enough? Isn't it time to start using what's proven to work for our industry?
The benefits of more clients, more money, more freedom, less stress, and a happier version of yourself? Lisa McCullough, 450 new clients and 60 employee opt-ins. Jason Lacey, 57 new clients in 3 months from his website alone. Bree Amber, over 350 new clients alone from the website and 34 employee opt-ins last year. Sherry Danforth, 43 new clients in the last 6 weeks from her website alone. Yvette Hall, 17 clients a month from her website. Richard and Heather, averaging 13 new clients a month in their spa. Sharon Dion, 127 new clients in September and 49 employee opportunity requests. Alfredo, 56 new clients in 4 months from his website alone. Pam Howard, 23 new clients from her website alone last month. Ron Lasso, averaging 12 new clients a month from his website alone. Ron owns a hairpiece business. Debbie Saragusa, 161 new clients in the last 6 months from her website alone. Sally and Heather, 37 clients in the last 3 months from their website. Jim Ostrowski, 19 new clients this past month alone, and a total of 37 employee opportunity requests. Mindy Hunzinger, averaging 27 new clients a month and 4 employee opportunity requests.
Saying your microphone's echoing a lot of people.
Must be this right here. Can you turn?
Hold on
one sec. We got the microphone.
Technical difficulties. Please stand by. It flashed up, then it was muted.
Oh, no.
Okay. All right, we're all set. Sorry about that. So let's take a look at what's inside your website social media integration package. Included, complete customized device responsive direct response website with social media, YouTube video integration package. Designed and SEO optimized, including an inclusive delivery system. To be more direct, you're going to have a website that's going to kick you know what for a long time.
We're still getting, I don't know if we have a time delay, but we're still getting.
Yeah, it's a time delay.
Okay.
It's a time delay.
We'll build your customized website with our key ingredients to be direct response with your unique copy and compelling sales letter and messages. Let's take a look. Including and creating the perfect banner customized for you. Phone number, bold guarantee, your picture, your logo. If you don't have one, we'll help you create one. Including 9 reason example document for you to edit and make your own. We provide those 9 reasons for you. You just have to edit them and make them unique. Including first-time visitor coupon with deadline date and all-inclusive delivery system. That's the first-time visitor coupon that I was talking about there. You have to have a coupon that prints up. It has an expiration date on it, or that shows up and is printable for your prospective clients to see and opt in to get. Including monthly client newsletter and all-inclusive delivery system. Including social media, Facebook, and website integration. Including consumer awareness guide, includes copy for editing and all-inclusive delivery system. Including employment opportunity guide for you to edit and an all-inclusive delivery system. Including YouTube video website integration. Including easy-to-navigate menu with unlimited pages. The more pages, the better. We don't nickel and dime you here. However many pages you want, that's how many you get. Including map with location. Including blogging. We show you how to blog, what to blog for. Very, very important with websites. If you have a website and you're not blogging, you're not getting found online. Including testimonials with your approval before they get published. Including completely responsive to all devices, desktop, laptop, iPad, Nook, all mobile phones, or anything else out there. You never know. They come up with new stuff all the time. Complete website package designed and SEO optimized. We'll build your website with the key ingredients to be direct response website with your unique copy and compelling sales letter and messages. This includes inserting your logo, picture, phone numbers, headline, body content, location and hours, our staff, employment, testimonials, links for online booking, blog, and contact information, and any additional pages you require. No limit. Turnkey managed and support includes domain setup, hosting, account creation and configuration, personal and staff email address creation, changes and enhancements and edits to the content of your site. No nickel and diming. For those of you that have websites and you ask for a change, they kill you with that. Pricing wise, we don't. It's all included. If you happen to change your salon a year from now and you have different colors in it and you want to brand your website to match those colors, it's included. Email manager integration includes the ability to email your entire client base from your account and build your list directly from your web forms on your site. Automated follow-up marketing, a complete email automated follow-up system for anyone that interacts with the website in the following ways. 2 automated follow-ups with clients a month, 2 automated follow-ups with prospects per month, 2 automated follow-ups with potential employees per month. Free report delivery system, consumer awareness guide, done for you. Employment opportunity guide, done for you. Client newsletter, done for you. Complete Google Analytics integration. Every page will have tracking codes so you'll know what people are looking at. You can track keywords and visitors and traffic. Complete support and customization. You'll have direct email and phone access to our developer. He'll work with you to make sure your branding is expressed with respect to the guidelines of direct response and our unique formula. That's very important. These are custom websites, okay? These are not paint-by-the-number websites. We want you to brand the website to your business, keeping in mind and respecting the guidelines of direct response and our unique formula. Why? Because we know it has to be there to work. Plus, if you act now, before this presentation ends, and this is huge, I'm going to include in your package today a super bonus worth over $1,200 per year. This bonus alone will put your website and Facebook page on the fast track of unsurpassed success. Expert Facebook ad creation. We'll create the ad, design direct response ad under the guidelines of Facebook usage. Most of you found our business through a Facebook newsfeed ad. We are going to do that for your salon. We will create an ad that shows up in your target market on their news feeds. We will set it all up for you. We will manage it for you. You can get for pennies people who are in your target market in your area to visit your website, and then let the website do its work and convert that prospect to a client. This is great because, like John was taking, once you build your website correctly, it takes a while for the search engines to go through it and start recommending it to the clients and having it show up organically. So with this Facebook ad creation system, it puts your website in play right away. It gets traffic to your website right away. It's a dynamic tool to be involved with, and it's so unique, and it requires expert knowledge to do it correctly, and that's what we're going to do for you. We'll set up the account for the ad inside your business Facebook page. This is a similar ad that we've done for several of our members. We'll manage the ad so your ad appears in your local target market's Facebook news feeds, just like this one here. This is a great ad that's worked tremendously. So you've no doubt noticed that this website social media program is, without question, the most comprehensive new client generating and profit boosting online system there is. Now you may be thinking, I bet any website and social media proven system that can give me all of that would cost a small fortune. And in all honesty, it really should. After all, this exact website social media program has already helped hundreds of salons and spa owners and stylists achieve getting all the new clients they want faster and easier than ever. Now you can see why the complete website social media package sold by itself is valued at $2,997. Yet, that price is not for you today. We have a much better deal headed your way, so by all means keep watching. And you're not just receiving the website social media package today. Just for being on this webinar today, we'd like to give you 3 free months of our unlimited support and management. A $237 value, absolutely free. Of course, you could choose to continue down the path you're on right now and end up spending 10, 20, even 40 times more than the investment you'll make today in the website social media package and direct costs, trying to market online and advertise online to get new clients on your own. Then there's the indirect cost of all your personal time and the aggravation you'll spend trying to build your website yourself or have a local developer do it for you. And let's not forget the lost sales from not getting any new clients from online. That's a real killer, and that's just not what I desire for you. The good news is a much lower price for you today because, frankly, if you don't hurry up and get a website that works for you, your competitors will continue to get the new clients you should be getting. So I refuse to let finances stop you. And that means you will not be paying the retail value of $2,997 for the website social media package today. Nowhere close to that. It's not even going to be half that price. It's not even going to be at $1,500. Your total investment today, including everything we just covered, plus 3 months free unlimited support and management, is now only one payment of $997. Or if you prefer, 3 monthly payments of $347. And 3 months free of unlimited support and management, value of $237 free, plus my super bonus to put your website and Facebook page on the fast track of unsurpassed success, value of $1,200 free. And that brings your total value to over $4,400. Yet, just by taking action today, the entire turnkey website and social media program with all the bonuses is yours for only one payment of $997 or 3 payments of $347. To lock in your super discounted price, which is extremely limited, click on the orange button that says Add to Cart or go to bestsalonwebsite.com. Don't decide right now. Try this on me for 1 full year. In fact, use my 100% no-risk guarantee. 5 times your investment, 1 year guarantee. If after 1 year you can show us that your website didn't make 5 times your investment, then simply email or call us and get a full 100% refund. After all, if our website program doesn't deliver the results we're promising, we don't deserve to keep your money. All we ask is that you show us proof that you actually used at least 5 of the dozens of priority strategies outlined in today's webinar. Here's what will happen after you click on the Add to Cart button or go to the right or go to www.bestsalonwebsite.com. First, you'll be taken to a secure order page. Scroll down and fill out the information form and choose the best payment option for you. Then once you complete your order, you'll be directed to simple instructions on how to get started by sending us your vital information needed to build your site. This will include all our contact information. Here's a limited time and exceptional offer with the drastic discounted price we have for you today. Click on the arrow or click on the orange tab over to the right or go to bestsalonwebsites.com. That's BESTSALON website, WEBSITE.com. You can either choose one single payment of only $997, or if you prefer, 3 payments of $347. Plus, you'll also be receiving 3 months free of our unlimited support and management valued at $97 per month, or $79 per month. Questions? Click on the orange button that says Add to Cart and lock in your discounted price today. All right, questions?
Yeah, we do have a couple of good questions in here. You're actually rolling in. Remember, there's a little delay here. I know a couple of you are losing connections and dropping in and out, but please hang in, okay? Let's see. Sue's got a good question. I'm a booth renter and initially was in the salon owner webinar. Are there differences? And as I will not be hiring any stylists.
No, there's no differences. If you are responsible for getting your own clients, which probably everybody on this webinar is, you have to have an online presence. And for this small investment today, it's a really smart idea to take action on this because you want to get this right from the get-go, okay? The longer you wait, the harder it's going to be to grab your online real estate. So you want to make sure you have an online presence, one that actually generates clients for you, and this is the way to go.
Okay, great. They're popping in quicker than I can read them here. Hang on a second.
We will answer all your questions.
Okay. Says, how long do I have, Mike?
1 hour. Got 1 hour.
Okay. It says, do we own the files or do you maintain ownership?
That's a great question. No, the website is yours. You own the domain name. You own the website. If for whatever reason you decide that you want to have somebody else manage it, you can certainly do that, but there would be absolutely no reason to do that because all of the support and all of the back end stuff that's connected to this website, it literally would cost you thousands of dollars to maintain it, and we're doing it for a really small fee. But yeah, the website is yours. Great question.
Okay, another question. It says, if I already have my website done and SEO done, that's popping in here, but I will need YouTube and Facebook and blog. How much is that charge? Well, I can answer that question, actually. Keep in mind that when you get the website done, one of the things here is if you come aboard and get this website, we're going to take a look at any existing website that you have and assess it for you. It's not going to cost anything for that. We're going to look at your channels, tell you what needs to be changed, and if anything needs to be changed, we'll certainly help you or show you how to do that, okay? So don't feel like that if you spend a whole lot of money getting a website up and running that, okay, well, I need to fix that and then move on to this. It's not the case. If you got a website right now, it's not working for you, it's not working for you, okay? But if you think that you may want to keep it and get another one instead, then no problem at all. We can always look at it for you and evaluate the worth of it and whether you should keep it or not, okay?
Yep. Also, I want to add that, like I was saying, these are custom websites with our unique formula and your branding on them. We realize that you're busy. We realize that a lot of you are not tech savvy whatsoever. So you will be assigned a website manager, if you will, who will really stay with you and stay on you if you need, if you need to get your butt kicked a little bit. She'll stay on you and make sure that you're delivering the content over to our website department so John can build the websites. This is crucial. So you'll have somebody that, if you have any kind of, like you're looking at the video and you say, well, I don't know how to make a video. Well, this is where your website manager will help you with that. If you're having problems with anything, any kind of challenges at all in terms of your website, this person will walk you through it and hold your hand through it if you're at all non-techie or scared of that kind of thing.
Okay, very good. Sue's asking a question. What if I do not have my domain name yet?
Go ahead and answer that one, John.
All right, no problem, Sue, because one of the things that happens is once you sign up for this, and this applies for everybody actually, once you sign into this, we automatically direct you to the next step, and that is giving us your information, and one of them is how to get a domain name. There's actually a video by me, and we walk you step by step through that. Whether you already have a domain name or not, we actually show you how you can get one and where to get it. We even provide the link right to GoDaddy from our page to take you step by step. We have this all, a lot of this stuff is all automated, okay? But I want you to keep in mind another thing is that I actually build each and every one of these websites myself. They are not farmed out. They do not go out to some other country. I do these myself and maintain them myself. Yes, we have a team of people that work with you to get the information together and everything, but I'm your go-to person. So if you have a technical question, I'm the person you work with, okay? Not just somebody that we pass you off to.
Yeah, that's a good point. We've streamlined this process. Once you put your order in, you get taken right to a page, and if you have time, the instructions are right on there. It'll tell you if you have 15 minutes to get started. If you don't, bookmark the page and come back when you do, and then you'll be contacted by your website manager who will work with you to get the content to John so he can make these sites as powerful as they possibly can be. You can see we have uncovered every possible rock that we possibly could. We've made this as affordable, we've made it as powerful, and the support is unsurpassed It's just it's just a unique opportunity for you.
Okay. Sue's got a question here. It says, I want this website and I need it. Does the start of this first free... wait a minute. Does the start of the first 3 months of management start with the website that's up and running?
No, 90 days from today. So that's an incentive for you to get going on it, because the way these websites are built is a first come, first served basis. So John gets the information, like people will be submitting information today, and he will start on the websites. He'll have a schedule, and he'll start on them ASAP. So you'll get rolling right away, and we want to see these websites get up as quickly as possible. We want to see your Facebook ads hit as quickly as possible, so you can start getting a return on your investment as quickly as possible. So that starts in 90 days, the $79 a month for managed hosting.
Okay. We got another question here. How long will this deal be lasting?
1 hour. It's 12:15 now. Let's say 1:30.
Okay, got some more questions popping in. Okay, and let's see. There's one in here I want to get to. Hang on, I'm trying to get to you guys.
Thanks for all the kind words too. A lot of people are
really
writing in. Great webinar. Can't wait to get started. That's awesome.
Okay, one of the questions: how long does this take? Well, normally it takes, once I have all your information in, it takes usually less than about 10 days to get the website up and online. On average, it's about 2 weeks when we go back and forth trying to get information. But again, we have a system in place to try to automate this as much as possible for you. And the amount of work that you would need to do is very minimal. Okay, there is a little bit of documentation that we need you to provide, and some documents that we need you to edit and send to us. However, like I said, we're here to help you and walk you through that. We're not going to let you just sit there and hang and and have a website that's not doing anything for you, because we need to get this up and running for you as quickly as possible. Okay. Randy says, awesome webinar. Thank you, Randy. And Denise says, thank you. Thank you, Denise. Let's see. Okay. Chris asked a question. I'm sorry, it wasn't Chris. After...
Any more questions?
Okay.
Any more questions, John?
Yeah, hang on. I think there was another one here. Some of them we've already answered. That's why I'm not getting back to you immediately, okay?
Yeah, a lot of the questions are kind of the same. So,
what's the monthly maintenance fee, Mike?
You get 90 days. Let me go over the pricing. One pay today of $997, or 3 payments of $347. Those will be 30 days apart, and then after 90 days, the managed hosting comes in at $79 a month. Now you are getting a ton of stuff for that. If you, but that's all. Like I said, the website is yours, but you will find that it's all about getting new clients, and you will be simply amazed at how many new clients you'll get from this if you do it right and you get on it. I will say that if you were to call our office and say, I'd like you guys to do Facebook ad service for us, we charge $199 for that. Okay, we hesitate to do it because we have to drive them to a website that actually converts a visitor to a client at a high rate. Otherwise, it's a waste of money to put an ad in for Facebook. But we will do it for you. It's a $199 service. This is included in your monthly managed service fee of $79, which is incredible. Any more questions?
Yeah, there was one here. Give me 1 sec. Says Chris wanted to know, could we embed a virtual tour and stylist photos with service descriptions? If so, is there a charge to update it? No. I'll tell you that right now because I'm the person who does it. And yes, we can certainly add your virtual tour and do a photo gallery for your stylist that pop up into a light box. And anytime they need to be updated, which it happens, you have employee turnover, we take care of that for you. That's part of your monthly maintenance, okay? So that's taken care of for you. Another note, too, for everybody is that all the work that needs to be done to your website is done for you by me, okay? The other thing is, too, is that you will have the ability to log into your website and also be able to add pages, to be able to blog, and we even have a full range of video tutorials to show you how to use the administration section of the website, and that constantly gets updated as things change. Because the website, by the way, updates automatically for you the software. So you don't have to worry about this thing getting outdated within a year or two. This will be the last website you'd ever have to buy. Okay, that's another beautiful part of using WordPress.
Yeah, if you have a website now, that was built, if you have a customized website now, you probably spent a lot of money for it, a lot more than the investment today. And when you go to get changes to it, they crush you. I mean, you can't have something simple change for less than a couple $100. So we don't do that. We include all of that in the managed services. Any other questions, Jen?
Mm-hmm. How long about will SEO to see results? So in other words, your question is how long is it going to take for you to start to get some action? Well, remember, a brand new website, when it goes up with a brand new domain name, can take at least a month to 2 months just to get discovered by search engines. We do search engine submission for you, okay? That's taking place for you. However, it can take at least 2 to 3 months, depending on how busy your market is, in order for it to start to get indexed and start to work for you. Some websites, it's not unusual, can take up to 6-7 months before you start to get any page results. So this is a time process. It's long-term marketing. It's very inexpensive, but it's long-term, highly effective marketing that does work. You got to stick with it. This is a plan of action that's been used for years and years. You know the elements have changed. The plan of attack still remains the same. You got to stick with it. You got to trust in the process. It does work. However, if you're looking for an immediate fix, one of the things that Mike is offering you right now that comes with this package is doing the Facebook ads for you. Okay, that gets you an immediate boost as far as attracting new clients to you. Okay.
Yeah, and that's not just, trust me when I say nobody can do a Facebook ad like us. Okay, it takes incredible knowledge to be able to get people to respond to a Facebook ad. And we have that, that's why you're a member of this program, because you responded to a Facebook newsfeed ad. Well, we take that same expertise and we use it in creating ads for your salon. Okay. We're going to answer some questions privately. We still have some questions up there, but we've got to close this off for now. You've got till 1:30. That's just about an hour from now. If you have not enrolled yet, please do click on the orange button, save the page, or open up or go to bestsalonwebsites.com. I want to thank everybody for attending. Thank you for the kind words. And we look forward to building these sites for you and kicking butt online for a very long time. Thanks, everybody. Okay, thank you, everybody. We're going to close this off now. You've got 1 hour. Make the right decision for you and your business. It'll be a great decision for you. And just thank you to everybody who's typing in kind words. I'm glad that you're getting involved. I'm glad that that you got a lot out of this information. Go to just click on the orange button there, the Add to Cart button, or go directly to www.bestsalonwebsite.com. If you have any further questions, just call us at the office. The number's right online there. So I'm going to close this off. That number's 855-756-8780. Thank you very much. Make it a great day.